So basically, where are we up to? Site-13 isn't supposed to exist, right? So here's the context. Site-13 isn't supposed to exist. It shows up kind of like in the middle of nowhere, I guess. It's power doesn't work. There's a bunch of like stuff written on the walls that is super ominous. It says stuff like, what happened to Site-13? Very not chill. Very not chill. Then they send like a team in, right? And they find this like weird leech parasite-esque SCP, I guess. And it is like coming out of some dude's mouth in the building, okay? Not cool. Not great. We find out that the on-site nuke is dead. And they start talking about this like Thresher protocol thing, right? Every person in the second team that goes in experiences the building rearranging itself, right? And they're like finding these SCPs that are kind of humanoid. They've got this like fire stuff coming out of their ears. They're a little bit like Dr. Manhattan-esque from The Watchmen. They're kind of creepy, right? And then like half the team dies, I guess, to like this thing, like weird exposure to this thing. Very creepy, very bad. Okay. Then we see a lot more leech stuff, and we kind of get to the bottom of what's going on with this. Right, I don't know if we get to the bottom of it, but we get a taste of what's going on with this stuff on the wall, right? So we see that there's like cognito hazard symbols everywhere. They are basically like trying to like check the drone feed, and it's like going in and out. It's like proper mess. So then they send the mole rats in, right? I remember the mole rats. They send the mole rats in, the legendary mole rats with this like scrambled gear on their head, right? To try and stop the cognito hazard from like messing them up. And I think from what I can tell, from the most part, it's like working, right? They find out that like there's like a basement collapse, I guess, and there's basically leeches everywhere down there, right? It's out of control. It's absolutely crazy. And then they find this like big creature pile as well. We find out that basically all these SCP bodies have been like chucked in the basement. It's horrendous. Not a good time, basically. Then there's this woman, and she's like kind of sassy. Like, don't get me wrong, she's kind of sassy, but she also, I think she's kind of rude. I think she's a little bit rude. I think she is out of place. I'm going to say that. I think she's out of order. I'm going to say that, okay? I think she's a little bit out of order. And her name is Hadley, and she basically explains that she had deliberately breached containment with this weird, like, blood baby called, like, Elijah, right? It's proper creepy. And she had, like, forced this other scientist or something to get, like, messed up down there. She's very spiteful, okay? She's not chill. She's not cool. So we find out that she potentially is still in the building, right? She's apparently downstairs with Elijah, and she's not being cooperative. It's like the best way of putting it. I think she's just not cool. She's not chill. She's not chill, okay? Then we find out that there are some people still alive in the building, right? And they're like begging for help. So the SCP Foundation is then like, okay, I guess we're gonna try and get these people out. I think it's like over 10 of them or something. There's like quite a few of them down there, right? And then, in order to, like, save these people, right, they send in Samsara. Now, these guys are going in, and they're working on the recovery. They're trying to get everything sorted, but they're also trying to, like, properly map out as much as they can anyway of the location so that they can try and find, like, the safest route, right? And that's where we're up to. That's where we're up to with this. That's the current situations. That's where we're up to in here. Right, I'm just going to really quickly pull chat up on my other thing because it went all busted. And I couldn't see anything you guys were saying for a second there, but I think it's back. Okay. I think we're good. Now, for the usual, no spoilers, please. No spoilers, please. Spoilers are not appreciated here, okay? We get very angry at spoilers. No, thank you. No, thank you. We are watching this for the very first time. This is my very first reaction to this SCP. So yeah, please keep it in your mouth. Keep it in your mouth. Don't type it. Don't type it in a chat. Don't type it in a chat. Right, I'm gonna like put my hair up as well, because we found last time that the text on this SCP kind of moves around a little bit. So I'm gonna shrink myself down as well, so I'm not in the way. Because there's a lot of text. There's a lot of text, which is good, because you guys can tell what's going on, but also yeah. Right. Mood lighting, got that on. I'm gonna shrink myself down a little bit. We'll go like here, that's probably good. Right, let me just check that. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. We found you looking critical with short hair. Thank you. Thank you. I really like this hair, dude. It gives me like mom vibes. It gives me like I don't know, or like auntie vibes, like wine aunt vibes. I kind of like it. I think it's kind of sweet. It's kind of sweet. It's kind of sweet. Right. Video. Let me get it up. Oh my God, I got so many tabs open. Please help me. There's too many tabs. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Right. Is that, can you see that now? Yeah, there we go. There we go. We can see it. We can see it. Mother. Mother moods. Mother moods. Cool aunt with her totally platonic roommate. And they were roommates. Oh my gosh. Also, hello, Yan. Welcome on in. Welcome in, Kazua and Gurgabin. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. For the mommy vibes, you need a pair of those oldie glasses. Shit. I wonder what glasses look like in ancient Greece. I guess they didn't have glass back then, right? I'm not sure on the timeline on that. I'll have to come back to you on that one. I'm pretty sure they didn't have glass at that point, but I don't know. I don't know the glass timeline, guys, okay? You guys know it better than me. I have like 50 tabs open on Opera because 4 SCPs I've still got to read. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh yeah, they didn't. Yeah, I didn't. When did we get glass? When did glass become a thing? I don't remember, guys. I'm too old for this. Okay, my memory's fading. And they would have a third eye. Oh my gosh. Either you can see or you're a blind prophet. No in between, dude. Things were not easy back then. Glasses were invented in the 14th century. What was going on then? So like 600-ish years ago. That's crazy, bro. Dude, they had glasses for a while, though. Damn. Damn. I don't have glasses. I don't need glasses, I say. And then like next week, I'm going to need glasses. It's crazy. But anyway, we're going to get into it. I think we got everybody in here who's usually here. Let's get into it. Same as usual. No spoilers, please. Hello, Tux. Welcome on in. Good timing. Right, we're going to get into it, everybody. We're going to get into it. You've had the summary. Let's do this. We got a big file to get through. Get your drinks, get your snacks, get settled.
Clever.
So we're looking at a map? It seems too distorted to be a map.
Ongoing topographical changes means that despite the changes in the structure of the site, it's all still located within our local reality. It's just unstable.
Do we know where this thresher device is?
Probably something to do with this section here. If you follow a logical structural design plan based on the evidence provided in this map, there should be a whole extra wing here, but there aren't any of the leeches down that way. Yes, I can see conduit running to that area. That's where the thresher machine is.
What about our recovery?
This area, here. Several corridors lead to a large research wing, but most of them have been blocked off. Every now and then, one of the ends of the network goes dark here. The survivors are in there.
What's the fastest way in from where we're at now?
One moment. 3 paths to choose from, each with different potential hazards. The first takes us farther down this pipeline until we reach a waste treatment facility within the plant. This is the longest route, but from that facility it's a fairly direct shot toward the survivors. The second path drops us into another cistern below this, which leads directly to this large chamber here. The leech is in there. I can hear it right now. It's wondering why this one hasn't come back.
Oh, damn. Damn. Okay, so the leech is spying on them as well. The leeches have like some sort of hive mind thing going on. That's important to reiterate for anyone that wasn't here last time. They're like communicating with each other. It's basically sent a bunch of like small leeches around. They're like wriggling everywhere and like scoping stuff out. And then they're like, I guess telepathically, maybe? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not telepathically because otherwise they'd know. But they're coming back and they're communicating what they're seeing, essentially. The leeches are terrifying. Yeah, I don't think I've ever encountered a leech in real life. And I'm kind of cool keeping it that way. I'm going to be honest, because they sound like they suck. They sound like they suck. Oh my gosh. They're living security cameras, kind of. Biosecurity cameras. Ugh, awful. Awful.
And the third?
The third route takes us through this area here, which is queer. I can hear the leeches as they move around the site. They're noisy, uncoordinated, acting on impulse and without much finesse. For this area, they're all very quiet. They go in and out for something, but they do it very, very quietly.
Sneaking.
It's the size of a cat already.
What? Why does she say that so happily? Excuse me. Don't calm down. Get more stressed, okay? You're way too calm for this. Please be more stressed. What the heck? Oh my gosh. I like the way she said clear. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Same. I am concerned. I am concerned, guys. Oh my gosh. Get stressed? No! I don't want to get stressed. Dude, I was already stressed last time we watched this because I was scared of what was happening, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's Samsung. That is okay. That is fair. That is fair. These guys are professionals. Okay, let's stop messing around. They're professionals.
Any other entities in there?
I can't tell. The leeches follow a single path in and a single path out. They don't stray away from it, and they don't look around.
Which is the fastest path?
The last one is the fastest. We follow this tunnel toward a service door and follow a staircase toward the bottom. Once we're there, there's another hallway off to the left that takes us past that area, or through it maybe. And on the other side is the back entrance to our research wing.
Okay.
All right. That's
cooking.
the one we'll take then.
A shame. Here I thought we'd be shooting leeches.
You'll have plenty of chances to on our way out, I'm sure. We need to get these people out quickly.
She truly don't got a care in the world. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like, I feel like it's a good thing for a soldier, but for a soldier that maybe needs to, like, respect human life? I don't know. I don't know about that one, Chief.
Onru, does it feel to you like the leeches are trying to get into the wing where the survivors are?
Yes, there is plenty of blood in this site, but not all of it is still warm. They'll be coming for them soon.
The team leaves the cistern and follows the drainage pipe west. Eventually, the team reaches a service door lit by a single flickering lamp.
There's something written on this door. Blood.
Here on the wall, too. Look.
Blood.
Wait.
Look.
Onru amplifies her shoulder-mounted spotlight, illuminating the entire wall of the tunnel.
I don't know why. I just find it really funny that it very clearly looks like it's written in blood and it says blood. And they're like, what's it written in? Dude. Imagine if it wasn't written in blood. I don't know why. That would just be so bizarre to
The
me.
word blood is repeated over and over, scrawled across the surface of the wall in a thick black substance. Onru turns left.
Oh my god, it's actually not blood. Oh, it's the goo. It's the goo. Okay, we came across this goo near the beginning, guys. There was like this like black goo, I guess. We don't know specifically what it's made of. I think it might be some sort of like weird substance, maybe like some congealed blood-esque texture, like viscosity. I don't know what you would call that, but you know, is what it is.
Illuminating several desiccated corpses in a corner at the end of the tunnel, all of which are covered in and seeping the same fluid.
Unsettling.
Come on, don't waste time.
The team enters the service door, revealing a partial staircase. The stairs above them are intact, but the stairs below them have been destroyed. The walls of the staircase are coated in cracks, through which seeps the black fluid.
The black, right, remind me guys, the black fluid is not the same thing as the void on the stairs, right? Or is it the same thing? I can't remember if it was fluid on the stairs that one of the teams was running away from, or if it was just void. I can't remember. There's been a lot of black substances in this so far. Red! Yeah, I'm red. I've got the mood lighting on, dude, so we can properly get in the mood for this one. Oh my gosh. Kinda. Okay. So maybe connected. Okay. It's not the same, but yeah, it was a black fluid that was rising. Right. Okay, thank you for the update. It's hard to describe, yeah, you're telling me.
Onru lights a flare and drops it, and the team watches it fall. After a short time, the flare lands with a slight splash, revealing the floor below.
How large is this site?
Site-19 has at least 50 underground floors and no fewer than 80 individual wings.
That's
Considering
wild.
what we know about Site-13, it's likely that there are at least twice as many of each, if not more.
What?
The nuclear-class containment cells alone are as large as the entirety of Site-81.
Which means there could be worse things down there nobody has seen yet.
Ooh.
It's almost a certainty.
How can it get worse? How can it possibly get worse? It's already terrible. How can it get worse, bro? Oh my gosh. I hope these guys have good life insurance. Yeah, same, man. I hope the SCP Foundation got those good benefits, dude. Oh my gosh.
Irantu leaps from the landing and lands near the flare, his implants absorbing the majority of the impact. The rest of the team follows suit. At the bottom of the stairwell is another door into a hallway and the team enters it.
Where to now?
About 200 meters down this hallway on the right. There are several security doors, but I think they've all been disabled. Through there is... I think it's a data storage center. It's big, lined with vents that lead to the cooling towers at the surface.
Where did the leeches start acting strange?
In there.
Oh boy.
Wonderful.
The team moves down the hallway, Nanku at point, flanked by Onru and Munru, and Irantu watching the rear. As they pass, they check each door to see if they are locked. Most doors lead to network maintenance areas, though notably, one door leads to the telecommunications room previously visited by the AP3 team. One screen on the far wall appears to have been busted from the inside out.
Ooh, what does that mean? From the inside out? Oh, is that clown? Has that clown got out down here? Oh, jeez, man. I don't know about this, dude. I don't know about this. I hope that clown's not got out. I'm gonna get stressed, bro. I'm gonna get stressed. End of life insurance. Yeah, you got me there. You got me there.
Here, this is the door to the server area.
What's that door there? It's marked as stairs to cryonics.
Cryonics? What's that?
Yes, I'd say it probably goes up to the next levels. And it's seated right on top of this room. Acts as insulation for the data center. Can we go through it? Which way is faster, Onru?
The only way I can see is through the server room. There aren't any leeches up there. That is very strange. There are certainly plenty of access points to that room. Very strange.
Through the server room, then. Come on.
Oh,
the team enters
jeez.
through the door of the server room. They pass through
It's
several more
cold.
security doors, all of which are unlocked. As they do so, the external temperature drops severely and stays steady at roughly negative 20 degrees Celsius.
Right, my question right now is that temperature drop, because you know, like in server rooms, they try and keep it cold, right? My question is, and we're going to find this out, I'm sure, is that to keep the servers cold, or is this SCP interference? I feel like we are about to be bamboozled, and this might be SCP interference, but we will see.
Irantu motions for the team to activate their internal heating coils protecting their internal organs from damage due to exposure. As the team proceeds down the hallway into the server room, Nanku's scramble optical implant begins to activate, signaling that an anomalous meme is being filtered out. However, Nanku had previously disabled the visual cue for the warning on her optical overlay, instead relying on the audio cue that accompanied the implant. The audio warning does not trigger at all. It's not until the team enter the primary server room that Onru realizes that no sound is audible at all, regardless of the source. Thinking at first that it might be her auditory implant, Onru removes the implant and restarts it. But after establishing that it is functioning properly, she attempts to communicate this with Irantu. Irantu motions for the team to hold and attempt to discern the source of the anomalous influence. As they do, each other team member receives the warning that their scramble filters are being triggered. Munro motions towards the door they entered through, but Irantu motions towards the back of the server area towards the research wing. It is during this silent discussion that Nanku first notices movement across the large room, motioning for her teammates to stay still. Each team member begins to hear a quiet whining sound, which slowly grows in intensity. As they huddle up, Munro notices writing on one of the server racks written in black fluid that says, "Silence," and then, "Don't look." He motions towards the racks and the team acknowledges it. Irantu motions for the team to move towards the far wall, and they slowly proceed between the server racks towards the back exit.
I'm not gonna lie, when this image popped up, I actually got really scared. It was like an uncanny valley thing. It like got me there. Oh my gosh. Are the leeches infected in the air? I feel like this is maybe like a separate SCP situation, right? I don't know. It seems weird. It is very ominous. It is Gurgabin.
Suddenly, Onru catches a momentary glimpse of a large entity across the room and stops her teammates from advancing.
Oh boy.
She looks around the corner and sees the entity again as it comes back into view. The entity is a massive multi-limbed figure. The primary structure of the entity is a floating cross-legged humanoid construct with 6 legs, 18 arms, and 36 forearms attached to 72 hands. Each limb moves independently, gesturing and posing in constant sudden jerking movements. The entity does not have a head, but instead has a large flat circular structure attached to its upper chest that is covered in a large number of symbols and glyphs, which glow with bright white light against the entity's dark grey-brown skin. On each of the entity's arms are a gold band attached to a chain, which drags the ground when not being pulled around in one of the entity's gestures. The golden bands are etched with glyphs later identified as being powerful anti-kineto hazards, though the chains are broken and the anti-kineto hazards are inactive. Most notably, a single severely emaciated, severely charred human figure is bound to the flat circular structure of the entity's head. The figure twists against its restraint and appears to be screaming, likely the whining sound heard through the entity's muting kineto hazard.
Oh my god, is it just keeping this dude hostage? What is this? This is horrific. This started out weird and then it escalated into like some weird torture situation. What is going on? What is happening? Bro, what is this place? Now I understand why Site-13 is a cursed location of the Foundation. Yeah, like, they are seeing horrendous things on the reg in here. It is ridiculous.
As the entity performs its gestures, the glyphs on its head illuminate rapidly, often causing burns where the human skin comes in contact with them, creating further distress and increasing the volume of the whining. Onru also notices that some aspect of the entity is creating a severe malfunction in her optical implants, singeing the circuits responsible for handling the Scrabble calculations. She looks away, ejecting the implants before they damage her retinas, and motions for the rest of Tau 5 team to not look at the entity directly. The team acknowledges and they continue to move forward. Suddenly, the whining becomes dramatically louder and begins to draw closer to the team.
Oh my
drops
gosh.
a proximity mine from his pack and then another a short distance away. As they flee away from the entity, streaks of blue electricity begin to arc between the server racks, and the ground beneath them begins to shift as if it was made of sand. As Nanku threatens to fall into the ground, there is a muffled wave of pressure behind them as the first proximity mine detonates and the ground solidifies.
Dude, they're busting up all the servers in it. In this economy? Oh my god. No, that's actually crazy though. This is horrific. I'm scared, dude. They are cooked. Yeah, it seems like it. Oh my gosh.
The team turns a corner and the back entrance to the room comes into view. From above them, they can see a hole in the ceiling exposed to the cryonics laboratory. Briefly, a complicated containment cell is visible, though it is thoroughly destroyed. The team moves swiftly towards the door as white-hole glyphs begin to appear on the ground beneath them and in the air around them. The team manages to duck and weave through the symbols, but Nanku catches her left arm on a glyph in the air and it bursts into flames. Irantu, having seen this from his position behind Nanku, fires his weapon at her shoulder, removing the arm. It falls to the ground and explodes into a cinder. Munru reaches the door first and throws it open, and Onru follows immediately afterwards. Nanku stumbles through, collapsing on the other side, and Irantu comes up last. Just before closing the door, Irantu turns to look at the entity closing in behind them, which at this point was a barely visible blur of gestures, fiery glyphs, and an inhuman whine. As the door swings closed, Irantu zooms in on the humanoid figure strapped to the entity's head, enough to see the word Emerson seared into the flesh of the figure. Irantu slams the door closed and immediately ejects his optical implants.
Okay, everything I said about this woman, I feel like is correct. What the fuck? Oh, this is crazy. Why is Emerson here? What? Did she do this? Because someone's got to have carved Emerson on this guy, right? Maybe she did this. Oh, she's so sick. She's so sick. That's crazy. That's awful. This guy's still alive. That's even worse. He's still alive, bro. Oh my gosh. Director of the facility that tortured the SCPs, bruh. I mean, divine justice, maybe. But still, that is grim. That is so grim, dude. Are we sure we're not in a Hellraiser movie? We're about to find out, baby. Let's go.
The team rushes down the corridor away from the security door, and slowly the sound of footsteps can be heard around them.
I also love that she's just in a very chill pose with just one arm now. Like, as if nothing happened. This is wild.
They reach a large open space in between several hallways and stop to catch their breath.
I don't believe I know how to respond to whatever that was. What was that? I have no idea. I've never seen anything like it.
There was a human strapped to its head. Did you see that?
I did. I think it was shouting.
Nanku looks at the stump of her arm.
I'll likely miss that arm later.
You'll be alright. Just be careful.
Oh my gosh.
Like I needed it anyway.
Need a hand? Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh my gosh. How's it going, Lord? Welcome on in. Oh my gosh. Site-13, only fun and rainbows? Yeah. Yeah. This is like the epitome of like, it just keeps getting worse. Like it just does keep getting worse. Oh my gosh. They're cyborgs, so losing an arm probably don't hurt. I'm going to be honest, it's probably great for them because then they can just get like a cybernetic upgrade that's way better. They're probably fine with it. I understand. You know what? I sympathize. I get it.
I've got another.
Noted. Everybody alright?
No worse for wear.
I'm fine.
I'm alright too. We're here, look.
The team turns to see the hallway to their immediate east, which has been barricaded.
What's
and
that?
filled with a substantial amount of explosives and incendiary equipment.
A kerosene.
Irantu approaches the barricade.
Hello? This is Tau 5 Irantu. Is anyone there? We're here to get you out. Hello?
Maybe we're too late.
We're not too late. Hello? Is anyone there? Can you—
There is a shuffling sound, and a large wooden crate is moved slightly. A dark face can be seen in the space between the crate and the wall.
Captain.
Oh boy, the goddamn Power Rangers. They told me about you. You look like you've been hit by a train.
Something like that.
Well, come on then. We don't have much time left.
I'm gonna be honest. If I was stuck in here, I don't know if I'd want someone to get me out. Because I feel like getting out is probably more traumatic than just staying there and starving. Like, I don't think the exit of this building is gonna be a fun experience for these people. I'm gonna be real. Loki, I'm wondering if the SCP is more mobile than we think it is. It might be. It might be. Oh my gosh. I wonder if Tau 5 got built-in Wi-Fi. They better, bro. Imagine if they didn't. That is an abomination. That is unbelievable if they don't. How dare they? Oh my gosh.
The team moves towards the opening in the crates. As Monroe and Nanku pass through, Onru pauses. Irantu notices this and turns to look.
Irantu, look. Leeches.
Black cracks have begun to form on the walls of the atrium behind them, and wriggling black leeches start to fall out of them, accompanied by a thick black fluid.
Oh, they coming.
Addendum 1739, Extraction and Recovery Log Transcripts. Date: Team, Mobile Task Force Tau 5 Samsara, Apollo 3 Game Wardens, Zeta 9 Mole Rats.
I'm sus. Why have we moved to a transcript? I'm sus. I'm sus. I feel like this might not be good. Team
Lead, Irantu, Hollis and Ross. Team Members, Munru, Onru, Nanku, Houston, Vigo, Ahalo, Morris and Willow. Notes: the following is a transcript of an extraction and recovery mission carried out by the members of Mobile Task Force Samsara after having made contact with surviving members of MTF Apollo 3 and MTF Zeta 9. Aside from the members of the Mobile Task Forces, the team was tasked with recovering 27 surviving members of Site-13 staff, including Dr. Mohammed Scott, a Site-13 Assistant Director of Temporal Studies.
Dude, that's a lot of people. These, like, what is it, 4 or 5 on Samsara trying to get out? Damn, dude. How are they going to pull this off? Also interesting. I like that they're trying to, I don't know if I like it, but it's just interesting, noteworthy, I guess, that they're trying to save some of the researchers and assistants and stuff, right? Try and get information out of them about the SCPs. How did they even survive in this place? Yeah, I'm shocked there's actually people alive in here as well. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Is the video sped up? Slightly. I'll reduce it a little bit. I do have to have it on a little bit faster because I've got a sound curfew at 10, but it shouldn't have been that fast. Okay, let's go.
Several of these individuals have sustained significant injuries, further increasing the difficulty of extraction efforts. Members of Mobile Task Force Alpha 20 Holy Divers were stationed above ground and were prepared to move in to aid in extraction efforts once the recovery team had escaped the lower levels of the site. Begin log.
Mic's on.
Are we really worried about recording all of this?
Hey Vigo, shut the fuck up. Do what he says.
Oh,
Your lead, Power Ranger.
okay.
Thank you. Onru has prepared an evacuation plan. I will let her explain it.
Do it.
Our entry routes are here and here. The largest obstacles we are currently experiencing are the spatial instabilities within the lower levels of the site.
I just realized. I think this guy here, you see him on the rightmost guy in the pack. He's floating. He's the guy without the legs. Dude, that's such a cool little detail. That's crazy. That's crazy, man. Oh my gosh. Samsara is one of the strongest MTFs of the Foundation. Yeah, we found out last time. Dude, that's so cool. I think that's so sick that he included that detail. That's awesome.
On the suggestion of Dr. Scott and Captain Hollis, our route will first travel to this section of the facility where the Thresher device is contained. This device is the cause of the instabilities. And, while it is not possible to completely disable the device without risking our own lives or the lives of above-ground personnel, we should be able to reduce power to the device long enough for us to create a stable path to the surface following this route here.
Okay.
I got lost once shortly after our insertion and ended up in that room. I was attacked by a number of creatures that were difficult to perceive, likely due to some latent anti-mimetic effects. I was able to escape them, but they're no doubt still there. That machine draws a frankly impossible amount of energy from some energy source elsewhere in the site, and those creatures I saw feed off of it. So, there's that.
Why don't we send a team ahead to disable the machine and then meet up with them before heading up?
We do not have enough time, and the probability of our success drops dramatically if we split up our team.
Yeah, that's fair.
Once the device is powered down, it is likely that we will have less than an hour to make our escape before it trips the failsafe and powers back up again.
Damn, they're gonna have to leg it.
Our push from there, hoping that it buys us enough time.
Alright, cool.
Your assignments are as follows. Tau 5 will take point. Apollo 3 will take the right and left flanks. And Zeta 9 will take up the rear. The healthier survivors will stay near the back, and those with more serious injuries will be near the front, near Tau 5.
Okay.
In the event that we are flanked or assaulted, follow typical multi-force defensive assignments while allowing Tau 5 to intercept higher threats.
Maintain clear lines of communication. Tau 5 and the task force captains have channel priority. Keep chatter to a minimum. You will all have plenty of time to speak once we reach the surface.
Smart. We gotta be quiet. We gotta be quiet in here. It's Samsara, and then it's the Hammer Down MTF, which basically a whole private military of the Foundation. Wait, what? That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Wait, why is my laptop not charging? That is concern. That is concern, right? At some point, I might have to, like, crawl around under my desk for a second. Let me jam some cables. Oh my god, there's so much shit on my desk. Okay. I don't know why laptop not charging, but that's fine. At some point, I'm gonna go on a mission under the desk. Don't worry. I'll call in Samsara. Right, let's do it.
Our priority now is extracting these people and staying alive. Unless you're in Samsara, in which case I guess you guys are free to do what you want. For the rest of us mortals, it doesn't help us to let the Power Rangers get mulched, since we're likely shit out of luck if they go belly up.
Agreed. Does everyone understand our mission?
All the task force members are in agreement.
Acceptable. I will take point. We need to move quickly. Gather your things, prepare the civilians, and we'll leave shortly.
The teams break to assemble in their formations. The civilian survivors are briefed on the mission plan and positioned in the middle of the block.
Captain, at the main door. There are leeches coming under it.
Shit. You're on to, we need to roll.
Agreed. Let's move out. Munru, Nanku, collapse the main door. We will exit expediently up the side.
Expediently.
The block moves out of the side door towards the side hallway. Nanku and Munru hang back to set explosive charges around the doorframe. Leeches are beginning to work their way under the doorframe and through cracks in the walls.
Oh,
as they step away from the door, Nanku opens her flamethrower on the leeches.
I cannot say that you are making a difference, Nanku. There are likely many more leeches elsewhere.
This is very satisfying to me. It is delicious.
What do you mean delicious? What do you mean delicious? What? Oh my gosh. Gotta react to all the MTFs from Mr. Illustrated. Yeah, I think that one's on our list, actually. I think all the MTF ones are on the list. I'm excited for that one. It's gonna be cool.
Munru and Nanku move quickly to join the rest of the group, which has begun moving down the side hallway. As they pass through the first door, there is an explosion, and the building around them shakes.
Oh, jeez.
The group, a loud, uncanny screaming sound is heard.
What? Oh! Run.
They know we're moving.
Undoubtedly.
The group
Run.
continues down a series of hallways towards the stairwell, stopping occasionally to check for hostile entities. After a short time, Munru calls a halt.
My optics are pinging. Strange. Move everyone back. I will scout ahead.
Munru
No,
comes
don't
around
split
the
the
corner of
party.
the hallway, weapon drawn. His scramble optical implant highlights a dangerous meme on the wall. At the far end of the hallway, a vaguely humanoid entity, the same entity as seen during a previous remote drone exploration of SCP-1730, is seen drawing on a wall with a long curved
What's
finger.
this thing?
Munru projects an image of the entity to Nanku, who rounds the corner behind Munru.
Hold.
Suddenly, the entity turns towards Munru and Nanku and opens a single white eye, which is immediately processed and blocked by the scramble units. The entity begins to move very quickly down the hallway, changing
Towards
dramatically as it moves. The entity becomes considerably larger, and its long rows flare out to either side, exposing additional hazards that are blocked by the scramble units.
What?
Munru and Nanku raise their weapons and fire. The creature reels backwards as it is struck by bullets, with large holes opening across its flesh. Munro reloads, loading incendiary rounds, and fires again, setting the creature on fire. As it staggers backwards, the entity begins to scratch madly against the wall to the right, seemingly attempting to dig through the wall away from the gunfire.
What?
Nanku takes one more shot, striking the entity in its eye and causing it to collapse onto the ground.
Oh my gosh.
Is everything all right?
It appears so. Wait.
Suddenly, the hallway shakes violently. The floor
Brother.
beneath the collapsed humanoid entity crumbles and falls away, revealing a large hole beneath the floor. Within the hole is a long, slick black creature covered in blood-red eyes, with a mouthful of many rows of long, sharp teeth. As it bursts through the floor, a cascade of small leeches are propelled into the hallway.
Bro, this thing reminds me of the sandworms in June, bro. The leech's mouths actually look like that. That is disturbing if they do. Oh my gosh. He looks hungry. Bro, he looks savage. I think he's going to come in and try and mess stuff up. Oh my gosh. How far are we into the original video at this point? We are 1 hour 40 minutes. 1 hour 40 minutes into the original.
The humanoid entity slips through the destroyed floor and falls into the mouth of the large creature, which lets out a loud scream as it devours the entity. Long, wet appendages snake into the hallway as Nanku and Munro begin to retreat. Nanku opens her flamethrower again, warding off the approaching smaller leeches.
What's going on?
We will need to find a different route. Quickly.
Oh, jeez.
Follow me.
The group moves past the collapsed hallway as Munro and Nanku provide cover fire. They pass through a custodial dormitory and enter into a maintenance area behind it.
Over there. We can take this path towards the machine.
We are right behind you, but I'm beginning to think this creature is far larger than we anticipated.
Larger than
Take
that?
the point. We'll move now.
Oh boy.
The group follows the hallways into a maintenance warehouse. They exit through a pair of doors leading into a staff break room. The group has to briefly stop to bandage up a survivor whose wound has begun bleeding again. A loud screeching sound is heard nearby.
Oh no.
We can't stay here long.
They can smell him. We've got to leave him behind.
One moment. Munro, Nanku, how far back are you? Munro, Nanku, please report.
Wait, what?
Nanku is damaged. We are not going to be able to rendezvous with you immediately. Enru, do keep us updated on your position, and I will let you know when we can regroup.
Oh boy.
Understood.
The group enter another hallway leading in the direction of the Thresher wing. As they move through the hall, Enru hears a distinct sound.
They're onto wings.
Wings?
Many. More than I can count. They're very small, but there is a great multitude of them.
Got anything
What?
else useful, Power Girl?
Is it going to be like mosquitoes or something? Bro, I can't. I can't. Dude, stress. Stress, your favorite monster? Oh, boy.
A tinkling sound. Like crystal on crystal.
Tingling.
Fuck. Crystal butterflies, it has to be. We'll get shredded.
What?
The group moves towards the sound, which continues to grow louder until it becomes a cacophonous sound that seems to be right above them.
God,
Oh, boy.
Where's that coming from?
Steady now. Steady.
You're onto the vent.
In front of them, a grate on a ceiling vent falls open, and a cloud of sparkling crystal butterflies begins to fill the hallway. Irantu sees the butterflies and turns back to the group.
Everybody down, please.
As the group drops to the ground, Irantu runs towards the cloud of butterflies. He disappears briefly.
What?
After a short moment, there is a burst of flame that hops upwards into the vent, and the sound of shattering crystal can be heard above them. As the smoke clears, Irantu becomes visible again. The majority of his flesh has been shredded by the wings of the butterflies, and his entire body is scorched. Significant amounts of flesh hang loose from his body. The skin on his back is blackened and blistered, and a thick metal implement is now visible through the scorched flesh. Enru stands and approaches him.
Are you able to continue?
Of course.
Jesus Christ, man! Are you alright?
Of course. Of course, he says. What? What? Oh my gosh. I think he needs a band-aid. Someone get this guy a plaster. Tis but a flesh wound. That is crazy, dude.
Yes. Why wouldn't I be?
The group moves through another hall seeping with black fluid, and then another, but the third hallway is clean and relatively untouched. They ascend a short staircase before coming to a stop before a thick vault door.
The machine is behind this door. I came out this way, but the door's sealed behind me.
But
I don't know how to
Thresher.
unlock it.
Dr. Scott, do you know how to open this door?
No. I never had access to this chamber.
I was
Oh.
hoping Munro would be here. I do not think I can open this door.
Suddenly, there is a resounding click and the door in front of them slowly opens.
What is this? What? I don't like that. What is this? I don't like that. Is this the clown again? Oh my, please. I'm not even scared of clowns, bro. But for that clown is like got me on edge, man. I hate it. Oh my gosh.
A monitor next to the door illuminates and a dark room is visible on it. In the back of the room, hidden in shadows, an indistinct humanoid entity waves. A harsh electronic static sound, vaguely reminiscent of laughter, can be heard through an unseen
It's the clown.
loudspeaker.
It's gotta be. Oh my god.
Tanny, oh Tanny, it's so long down here with us. It's so long and sharp, Tanny. Why did you make me hurt?
Why does it sound like Dobby from Harry Potter? Is this the voice actor from Dobby? Like, it legit sounds like he talks in the same way, right? Oh, I really didn't like Dobby in Harry Potter as well. Oh my gosh, dude.
That's a pretty fucked up clown.
Come, hurry.
The group enters the chamber beyond. The room is very dark, with a multitude of dim green lights visible on the walls of the room. Based on the luminescence of the lights and the apparent distance of them from each other, the room appears to be several hundred meters in diameter. Near the back of the room, a tower of circling green lights is visible.
This is kind of chill, right? Like, what could go wrong here? This seems chill as hell. Oh my gosh. You didn't get to meet Bobble yet, did you? Yeah, well, he was on a monitor before. Like, they came across him on a different monitor, but for some reason, it didn't click with me that he sounded like Dobby until now. Dobby spent too much time with the socket. No! No! That is wrong. No! That's worse than any SCP we're gonna find in here.
Hey, Power Rangers. Can you see anything in here? You have dark vision or something, yeah? My visor is shot.
Andrew and I were forced to eject our implants after they were damaged by a powerful mimetic entity.
Oh, yeah.
My visor works, hang on. Alright, so there's some kind of machine near the back of the room under those lights. I can't really make any of it out from here, but it's there. I don't see it. Oh, shit, yeah I do. On the
Wait, what?
Fuck. There are a lot of those things.
Don't know. Describe. Why are we just saying those things? Oh my god, these people, honestly. This reminds me of like when your boss drops you a message and is like, we need to talk later. And it's like, what do you mean? Just tell me what the thing is. Why am I saying? Why are you not telling me the thing immediately? This is ridiculous.
What are they?
I honestly don't know. I can't make them out. They're definitely fucking with perception. I don't think they've seen us. Seriously though, there might be 500 of these things.
500?
That would be more than Onru and myself can deal with. We need to make a decision. Either attempt to disable the machine without attracting their attention, or find a way to dispatch the creatures. I am, of course, willing to accept ideas.
I mean, we could blow them up. Houston has explosives.
You're basically missing half the story by watching this. Oh, you mean like read the file? We never read the files on stream. We save like reactions for on stream. So it's only ever like reaction content to like video, right? Just because like stream format wise, a white text, like text on white background is a lot less engaging, right? Like Mr. Illustrated has put like a lot of effort into like drawing all the parts for this, like doing the voice acting, stuff like that. So I prefer personally to watch stuff like this on stream. If I want to go and read the file, I like do that in my spare time, right? Or at like the end of the stream. I don't like do it as the main thing. I think it's just like reading on your own time. Yeah. That's what I mean. I think it's just like read that off stream. We can all do that in our free time. Watching this is like art. So you could be putting it. This is really cool. Like a really cool art piece that someone's done. So I enjoy watching these personally rather than just like reading the file on stream. Also, I'm not a great voice actor. I don't think you guys would like it if I read the file. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a great voice actor. So I don't lend well to just like reading the file out.
That's a lot of them to try and get all at once, though.
Maybe. But it's more likely that...
Suddenly there is a massive
oh my
disturbance beneath
gosh.
the chamber. To the left of a group, roughly 100 meters away, there is an explosion and the wall falls away. From within the wall emerges a long, slick, black appendage covered in red eyes. The eyes open simultaneously.
Why has it got eyes?
And from above them, many hundreds of short, imperceptible entities fall from the ceiling. The black entity in the wall begins to lash out at the smaller entities, attempting to pull them in towards a mouth that has appeared on its front. The creatures fly towards the larger creature and begin to tear at it with claws, though many are shoveled into the open mouth of the creature.
Okay, pause, because I'm getting a vibe here. I'm starting to get the vibe. Originally, I was like, oh, maybe this SCP just likes blood, yada, 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 whatever, right? Now I'm starting to think that this is an SCP that feeds on other SCPs. Like, it's not just eating them from the blood, because these look like the crystal butterfly things to me, right? Maybe I'm wrong and we've not uncovered it yet, but there's no blood in them. So now I'm like, maybe this is just like a leech that eats SCPs or something. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I'm thinking. I've got my thinking hair on. Got my thinking hair on. They're just hungry? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Would you, like a list of every SCP that got mentioned? For what? For what is the main question. You tell me! You tell me for what? What do you want me to do with them?
Huh. That works as well. En route, get to the machine. The rest of you, get back to the hallway. We will not have much time.
The group retreats into the hallway outside of the large room. Onru sprints across the chamber as more and more of the smaller entities fall from the ceiling and attack the black creature. Several of them begin to move towards Onru, only to be dispatched by weapon fire from Irantu. As she reaches the manual control panel of the machine, Onru inputs the information provided to her by members of Dr. Scott's team. Lights around the room illuminate, exposing an enormous, vastly complicated machine that encompasses the entire back wall of the room. More and more of the hostile entities peel off towards Onru, who causes to open fire on those who come too close.
Oh boy.
From beneath the room there is another disturbance, and the floor in the middle of the room falls away. Another long black entity emerges from the hole in the floor, and long tendrils snake out towards Onru. From behind Irantu comes gunfire, and the entire AP3 team has emerged from the door and begun firing at the entity. The creature recoils, black fluid spilling from gunshot wounds.
Oh damn, dude. Oh my gosh. The point is, there's a ton of references that reward exposure to more SCPs. You can still enjoy the story if you didn't know all the individual entities. Yeah, I will say, if you want to suggest any of the SCPs that are in this that I haven't watched yet, chuck them in the Discord channel. You'll be able to find it in the links. Or you can just chuck it in a comment on this video, and I will be able to find it and like pull them afterwards. I go through the comments and I like pull any SCP suggestions, and I put them on my big list, and then we like either do them as a Tuesday watch or we do them as a live stream, right? So yeah, chuck them in there. Chuck them in there. If there's anything you want to see me react to that maybe I haven't seen in this yet, or I don't know about, chuck them in there, because I'm down to dive more into it. I'm down to dive more into it.
The tendrils whip around towards them, gripping Vigo and tossing him into the air. He strikes the wall and his body falls to the ground, where the first black entity grabs it with a tendril and pulls it into the mouth.
Ugh, it's so creepy. It's also giving what are those animals that do? Is that a spider I'm thinking of that have like the mandibles that push stuff in their mouth? It's giving that a little bit, right? This guy needs a Snickers, yeah. He hangry. He hangry. I like not knowing sometimes. I'm kind of the same, right, Thick? I'm kind of the same. I am like, you know when people like read a book and then watch a movie, right? And the movie's about the book. I prefer not having read the book when I watch the movie, because I feel like if I know what is going to happen in the story, it's less exciting, right? It's less exciting and it's less like interesting to me. So I kind of enjoy being like, who's this clown guy, right? And then I go, who's he? He sounds super cool and super weird, right? Then it's like, well, I want to go watch like an SCP about that guy now, right? That's like the way my brain works anyway. I know everyone's different, but that's just the way my brain works. I like getting fed like breadcrumbs of stuff. And then I'm like, oh, but what's that? And what does that mean? Like my brain just works in that way. I just enjoy the little like paper trail of SCPs to follow up on.
Suddenly, small black leeches begin to pour from the hole in the floor and move quickly towards Irantu. Houston and a Halo open fire on the leeches, and Ross moves to pull Irantu away from the hole. As he does, he tosses an incendiary grenade into the hole and pulls Irantu to the ground. There is an explosion, and flame erupts around the black entity, which rears back and flails before collapsing into the hole. From deep below them, the group can hear a very loud screaming sound, and suddenly the entire room is shaking. The other black entity retracts into the hole, collapsing the wall behind it as it does. The remaining creatures from the ceiling are dispatched by the AP-3 and Zeta-9 teams. As they do, and as the room begins to shake more violently, several lights affixed to the machine in the back begin to flash and then dim, and the sound of something winding down is heard over the gunfire.
Is that right, I'm scared now, because is that the Thresher, like, losing power? Or is that them breaking the Thresher? Like, I guess they want the power down anyway, because that's fine, but that's what I was worried about when we entered here, and they were like, oh, there's SCPs everywhere, right? That's what scared me. There is not an anti-memetics division, yeah. Oh my gosh. Also, if you read the book first, you have a specific image of what the characters look like, and that might go against the movie. Yeah, exactly. Again, I'm like someone who like studied film, so I'm very like, I like film adaptations of things. I am someone who is like not like, oh, it's got to be exactly like it is in the book, because again, I just wouldn't enjoy it if it was like, it would just be boring. I like to see people's interpretations of like the way an SCP looks, the way that a conversation might have happened around it that's maybe not in the file, but we know happened to kind of get it to that point, right? I like really enjoy a lot of the like contextual creative side of it, which is why I really enjoy watching reactions like this. Art is a mirror to the soul, to be honest. Yeah, exactly. It's cool. I like seeing it. I think the Exploring series version of There Is No Anti-Memetic Division is the best, since it has more of the story. Oh, interesting. I think we watched a live action of that, actually, and it was banging. It was really good.
Fuck. God damn it, Vigo, fuck.
Oh, jeez.
The loss of Vigo is disappointing. I am sorry. We do not have a substantial amount of time to breathe. We must keep moving.
Oh, they're so cold.
En route,
they're so
Ross,
cold.
Houston, Halo, and Irantu leave from the chamber. More rumbling is felt beneath them, and occasional loud screeching sounds punctuate the machine noises from this section of the facility. They reach a stairwell, and Houston throws the door open.
Whoa. What?
Oh,
What is the
no.
matter?
There's nothing here. The door just opens up into... nothing. It's just dark as far down as I can see.
Oh, boy.
It's likely that disabling the Thresher device has altered our previous escape route. We'll need to devise another path to the surface.
Yes.
Go quick.
One moment. Monroe, where are you?
Difficult to say, unfortunately. Have you powered down the machine?
We just did.
Fine timing then. We were being pursued by a creature, then suddenly there was a wall where the creature had been. The local topography appears to have reset itself.
Okay.
Stay in one place. We will come to find you.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Mogler, hello! Welcome in. No worries. We are making progress on this one. I think we've watched about 30 minutes. We're 30 minutes on from we were last time. But basically, they found the survivors and they're trying to exit the facility. And this big leech-esque creature is like on the move. It's kind of scary.
Our escape begins now.
Fantastic.
The main group leaves the empty stairwell and turns back down the hallway they came through. Passing by the Thresher access hallway again, they turn and begin to climb another staircase. As they reach the top, Irantu pauses. The hallway in front of them is covered ankle-high in water. As they begin to move slowly through the water, one of the researchers behind them screams.
Oh boy.
Just below the surface of the water, pale human corpses are visible, appearing to be floating roughly a half-meter down.
No. Is this the SCP? It can't be. It's a different reality that this has come from. This can't be the SCP that we saw with the bodies in the water. You do not recognize the bodies in the water. It can't be that. It can't be that. It's got to be something different. It's got to be. It's a different reality.
Do not attempt to look at them. You do not recognize them.
Wait, he said the thing. I'm losing it.
Move quickly. Come on.
The team hurries from the hallway towards another set of doors at the end, where written on the wall are the words "What happened to Site-13," with the word "What" covered by the word "Emerson," and the words "Have we become blasphemous" beneath that.
Blasphemous? What?
The group proceeds without incident for a short while longer, slowly ascending as safe routes become available. After roughly 8 minutes of travel, the group enters a large mechanical garage, where several pieces of large machinery sit in various states of repair.
I've got to say, that you do not recognize the bodies in the water is a banging. That's like one of my favorites. It's so good. That's crazy that that's in this, though. That's mad. That's interesting as well, though, because so far, most of the SCPs we've seen in this building, I've never heard of before. So I kind of assumed that a lot of them were coming from like an alternate reality, right? I assumed a lot of the people in the SCP Foundation hadn't seen a lot of these before, but then we came across those like crystal butterfly things that they seem to recognize. And then also This thing, right? That's kind of crazy. That's kind of interesting. It's interesting that there's like a mix.
They pause to secure one of the injured survivors, while Onru attempts to devise a new route. Suddenly, a loud banging sound is heard, and a piece of machinery flies across the room, narrowly missing Ross, who shouts,
Ooh.
Fuck! Where'd that come from?
In the corner of the room, a stack of mechanical parts is seen moving, rising up and self-assembling into a quasi-humanoid entity. Attached to the top of the large mechanical construct is a small, crudely constructed toy robot. The entity begins to move towards them, and a voice is heard from an unknown source within the entity.
I am reborn to breathe devastation upon this fetid earth. Pitiful humans, you will feel the dark state of my never-ending torment.
Still kind of cute, but it is very creepy that it's on top of like a humanoid-esque body. That's kind of creeping me out. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, it's cute and creepy at the same time.
This is annoying. Onru, get these people out.
Annoying?
Ross, to me.
I am the herald of your destruction. Embrace death.
Irantu, Ross, Houston, and a Halo open fire on the entity, to little effect. The entity lifts another large piece of equipment and throws it towards the group, missing them wide. A Halo throws a fragmentary grenade at the entity, which he catches in its outstretched hands and grips tightly. The grenade explodes, shattering the creature's hand and causing it to stagger sideways.
How dare you? I will tread upon you like...
Onru is seen sprinting towards the entity. As she approaches it, she leaps into the air, sailing over the top of it in a tall arc. As she reaches the top of the arc, she reaches out and grabs the small toy robot on top of the construct, causing it to collapse. As she flips towards the ground, she tosses the robot towards the wall.
No, I am the Harbinger.
The toy robot strikes the wall and is shattered.
Arontu, is that you? We just heard something crashing.
You must be near. Stay where you are. We're en route.
Oh my gosh.
The group moves out of the garage and towards a large atrium section.
What happened to that person's face? Oh my gosh.
From around the corner comes Munru and Nanku.
What did these guys go through? Oh my gosh.
Munru appears to have sustained burns to his lower body, but is otherwise undamaged. Nanku is missing the lower half of her jaw, and black fluid covers the front of her bodysuit. She waves with her remaining hand as the group approaches.
You look well.
Admittedly, morale has increased in the group since Nanku found herself unable to talk.
Nanku.
They're joking right now? They're actually joking right now. Oh my gosh. I can't believe these guys. Oh my gosh.
Makes an obscene gesture towards Munru.
This is a cute reunion, but let's get back to this shit. How far are we from the entrance?
This is a main atrium. If we follow this hallway here, it will lead towards a processing station. And past that, we should find access points to the surface.
Exceptional.
From below them, there is a loud crashing sound and more screaming. The floor beneath the group begins to buckle.
Fuck! Run!
The group flees towards the hallway Munru has identified, but are stopped when the floor there also collapses.
Oh my
Smoke erupts from
gosh.
the destroyed floor, and one researcher slips on the collapsing ground and slides into it. Onru leads the group away from the atrium as the floor there completely collapses. Irantu stops to turn and look down inside the hole. Beneath the hole is an incredibly large chamber, appearing to have been dug through dozens of layers of subterranean floors. Within the chamber are many small lights around the outside, and at the bottom is a massive black mass, with several other large black masses extending from it. As he is pulled away, Irantu sees red eyes open across the entire mass of the creature and hears more screaming. The group flees down a side hallway but are pursued by a long black tendril snaking out of the hole. Ross and Houston open fire on the tendrils, halting them momentarily, but they are quickly replaced by more. Morris is seen slipping on a patch of black liquid and falling before being consumed by the ends of one of the tendrils. There are the sounds of metal crashing and rock and concrete being crushed as the structure around them heaves violently. Black leeches begin to pour out of the walls around them, and Nanku opens her flamethrower at them. They round a corner to find a dead end, and turning back are confronted with another black tendril that has burst through a hole in the wall.
Hell no.
We need a way out.
I'm having difficulty. Wait! I have an idea. I think I know where we are. I have an idea. Come on, you fuckers! We're not dying here!
The group follows Hollis towards a descending stairwell and move quickly down it. Hollis tosses an incendiary grenade towards the encroaching tendrils and slams the door shut behind her as it explodes. The screams from below them intensify as they descend, and the stairwell begins to shake. Holes in the stairwell open and more leeches begin to pour out of them. All task force members open fire as long tendrils snake through the holes as well. Upon reaching the landing, Hollis motions the group towards the door.
Here! In here! Go, go, go!
The group enters a hallway and sprints towards the other end. As they do, they pass a sign on the wall that reads Stairs to Cryonics. The group exits the hallway into a large observation section, passing many large windows with blast protectors down across them. The team stops in front of one window, overlooking a massive chamber lined with huge steel doors. Overhead are the words, Olympia-class testing observation.
Hollis, what do you have in mind?
Call it a hunch. We need to get downstairs, come on.
The group runs towards the stairwell at the end of the
Downstairs?
room and quickly descend to the main level of the wing. As they exit onto the floor of the Olympia-class containment chamber, the wall behind them begins to buckle, and leeches begin to pour out of it.
Why are they... What? Bro, I know they're trying to find a way out, but I would be stressing so much if I was here, and they were like, let's keep going down. Like, I would, like, not be chill with this. This would stress me out so much. Oh my gosh.
Pink Ranger, that panel over there. You need to get that door open. What? I said open the goddamn door! Hurry! What the fuck are you waiting for? Go!
Onru runs towards a control panel near one of the tall steel doors. The wall behind them continues to buckle.
Monroe, that one. Get that one open too.
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone else, listen to me. You civilians need to get to the far end of this room. As far as it goes, just keep running. There's an access point to the power station above this part of the facility. You need to just keep climbing until you get there. Once you're there, you need to blow a wall. That'll get you out. But you need to hurry. Shit is about to pop off in a pretty major way down here. Ross, you and your boys just fire at anything that comes out of that wall. I'll tell you when we can go. Irantu, you stay with me. This is gonna get pretty messy.
Understood.
Damn.
All right. Fucking go, come on!
What makes this person senior? I guess they just have a better understanding of, like, the layout of this thing, which is why they're, like, taking point, as it were. Interesting. It's interesting seeing the Samsara people, like, be more passive, right? I know they're trying to find a way out, but it's interesting that, like, power shift.
The group flees down the main pathway through the chamber away from the buckling wall.
Oh my gosh.
Behind them, the wall finally gives way and a gargantuan black slick entity pours into the chamber.
Dude, they're not joking when they say gargantuan. Like, they are not joking. Look at this. Look at this. This is crazy. Wait, let me go. Look, these guys are down here, right? You see them? Wait, let me get this thing. I'm having to do this in semi-off time. This is so bad when I've got to watch it on the lag thing. Fuck. Let me get my pointer over. If anyone hasn't noticed, this is the... shit. This is the group over here, right? This is them versus this, like, huge leech over on the right, dude. That's crazy. That's actually crazy, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so hard to do this when I'm looking at the thing on another PC. Oh my gosh. That's actually insane, though. Holy, that's crazy. Yeah, what's going on as well? There's like some woman on its tongue, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. Looks like a goddamn Digimon. Oh my gosh.
It is at least 200 meters in height, covered in black tendrils and dark red eyes. When it sees the group, it opens a massive mouth full of rows of long yellow teeth. In the center of the mouth, a naked human woman is visibly conjoined in some way to a sort of prehensile tongue with the creature. As it opens its mouth, it lets out a piercing scream and begins to move towards.
Do you think this is that scientist woman? Because the kid fed on blood, right? Has she just, like, created a giant leech creature? She might have done. Oh my gosh, we're going to find out.
Every available task force member opens fire on the creature, emptying their remaining magazines and throwing every possible incendiary weapon towards it. The creature is deterred slightly, but for every place it is pierced by weapon fire, black fluid and more black leeches begin to pour out of its body.
That's
Several long tendrils
crazy.
begin to snake towards the group of task force members.
I have it. I have it, Captain Hollis. Come on then, girl, throw the fucking thing.
Onru steps away from the control panel and runs back towards the group in the middle of the chamber, as a loud groaning is heard behind her. The rest of the team sees the huge metal doors begin to slide open. A thick cloud of ice-cold fog rolls out of the chamber, obscuring the interior from view.
What's in there?
Monroe, you got yours?
Hang on. Yeah, I think that'll do.
Suddenly, the door behind Munru begins to glow bright red, then white, and then the center of it buckles and the door collapses. As Munru hurries away, a colossal, motionless, flaming humanoid entity floats out of the chamber. In its unmoving hands is a huge sword.
Wasn't expecting this. Was not expecting this. Okay.
As it exits the collapsed doorway, enormous flaming wings unfurl from its back. The black creature screams, and its tendrils begin to lash at this creature.
This is giving me, like, maybe, like, Gate Guardian vibes? This, like, what? What are we seeing? This is wild. Yeah, it's giving me Gate Guardian vibes, I was going to say. That's crazy. Is this Evangelion? What?
As the tendrils come close, long streaks of fire erupt from the sword towards them, rupturing them and sending black fluid and scorched leeches flying across the room.
This can't be the Gate Guardian though, right? Because isn't the whole part in the Gate Guardian that it's like protecting the gate? I don't know. Maybe I need to rewatch that file at some point. Maybe I'm wrong.
Massive black creature screams, and dozens of other tendrils fly towards the flaming humanoid. As the two engage, there is another sound, like a long whining, and then suddenly the room is silent.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. Fuck no. I hate this thing. I hate this thing, bro. Why we gotta deal with this thing? Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it so much. This is like my least favorite SCP, dude. For no reason that makes sense. I hate this stupid dear god thing. It's awful. Get it away from me.
From within the cold, foggy room, a towering, vaguely servine creature steps out into the main chamber. It is composed of a body covered in light green and cream-coloured hair, a long, thin neck ending in a hairless, somewhat humanoid face, and vast intertwined white and black antlers that pulse with streaks of blue light.
Listen. Gate Guardian's got to control the leech. Let's focus on shutting this thing down, okay? New mission. We're not escaping. We're getting rid of this thing. Oh my god, I can't. I can't. Look at the deer. I hate it so much. I hate it. It's like the ultimate gaslight SCP. I hate this thing.
Floating above its head are 9 concentric rings of glowing rotating crystals and metallic spheres. The creature slowly steps out of the containment cell and turns to look at the team on the ground below.
Who said he looks friendly? Look at this thing's face. You think this looks friendly? Really? More of you? Nah, bro. Nah, bro. This thing ain't friendly at all, dude.
It opens its mouth and a long droning sound is heard throughout the room. Around its body, several large metallic cylindrical structures appear, followed by a distinct cracking sound. It begins to step towards the team of task force members, but is struck from behind by 3 black tendrils that wrap around its neck. The creature lets out another drone, and suddenly the sound returns to the chamber as long streaks of fire arc across the space. The cylindrical constructs turn lengthways and speed across the room towards the black creature, striking it in its central mass. From all around the servine entity, more and more metallic spheres appear to fly towards both the black creature and the flaming humanoid, which in turn begin to attack each other.
Fucking yes! Go get him, big guy! Time to fucking go, kids. Let's go!
The team begins to sprint after the group of civilians towards the far wall, as jets of fire strike the ground around them. Nanko catches the end of a dismembered black tendril in the shoulder, throwing her off balance. She falls to the ground, firing openly with her weapon, as she is engulfed in fire. Houston pauses briefly to turn towards her, but is grabbed by Ramsey.
We do not have time!
As they near the group of survivors, all of whom are huddled near an exit door at the end of the chamber, there is a crashing sound, and they turn to see the servine entity standing up from where it had been thrown across the room. The black creature whips at it as more metallic spheres appear and arc back towards it. There is an eruption of fire as the flaming humanoid is struck by another several tendrils, which try to pull the humanoid towards the mouth of the black entity. The team reaches the survivors and quickly exit through the door.
This thing is trying to eat SCPs, like legit, and I bet the more it eats, the bigger it gets. I legit think that's what's going on here. I am waiting for my moment of glory when that is what's happening. Hopefully.
The group begins to quickly ascend the staircase within.
Alright, just like I said. Up. We need to go up. Over the...
A long, thin metallic cylinder crashes through the wall of the stairwell, narrowly missing one of the researchers and Dr. Scott. A second cylinder comes through the wall, striking Irantu and obliterating him as it contacts the wall behind him. As the group continues to ascend, fire fills the stairwell below them, and another long, loud droning sound can be heard, followed by silence, and then followed by a thick, bursting sound that shakes the entire facility.
Also, this guy's crotch guard came in clutch. Like, damn. The SCP Foundation invested in the important things. Damn.
The group reaches a landing and begins to move towards another staircase at the end of the hallway. Hollis hangs behind.
What are you doing?
Giving you some more time. And something else, I think. Get these people out of here. Go!
I can stay behind, Hollis. Your life is finite.
Yeah, I get the spiel, Power Ranger. But right now, you need to get these people out of here. Let me do my thing, all right? Catch up with you later.
I understand. Good looking out, Hollis.
Damn. Right, it's become time that I need to climb under my desk real quick. All right, I'm going to be back in a sec, guys. Grab a drink, grab a snack. This shouldn't take too long. I just need to crawl under my desk and plug in my laptop. Give me a second. Give me a sec. Get a drink, get a snack. We'll be back in a minute, guys. I'm just going to chuck us on the BRB real quick, and then we'll continue with this one. Alrighty, I'm back. Let me pull this mic back over. There we go. Right, I'm going to really quickly readjust myself because I've moved. I have moved, okay? Right, let me sort this out. Right, let me jam myself down a bit more. Okay, that looks good. That looks good? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right, everyone back. Write in the chat if you're back. Write in the chat if you need more time. Oh my gosh, I can't. Cute Pokemon Day. Nah, bro, get that thing away from me. You're back? You're back? Okay, good. Good. I love so much all this, and it's incredible how even part of this goes full circle into the Ouroboros proposal. Oh, someone's recommended that one to me before. I need to check that out. I really need to check that out. Damn. Intermission. We're back. We're back, guys. Okay. My back hurts. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Now I want to see SCP cage match. Dude, there's so many versus SCPs like on the internet. I'm like avoiding them at the minute. Not that I don't want to watch them, but I want to make sure I've like read a bunch of other shit first because that seems like the like stage after you've read all the files, right? And then you go into like, oh, versus SCPs. What would happen? What would happen? Right, I think we're good. I think we're good and I think everyone's back, so I'm going to continue.
You almost sounded like a person there for a second, Monroe.
Hollis runs away from the group. Monroe catches up to the rest of the group who reach another staircase and begin to ascend. For the next 10 minutes, the group continues to ascend through the facility, several times narrowly avoiding debris and falling rubble as the lower levels of the site begin to collapse. The sounds of the entities below continue to be heard, and several times the creatures become visible through large gaps in the walls and floor. At one point, Ross catches sight of the unmoving, flaming humanoid nearly completely covered in metal as long streaks of fire burst through open seams in its encasement. Shortly afterwards, there is a 2-minute break in all video footage, followed by a shot of the head of the servine creature smashing through a wall in front of the group. As they turn to run away from it, the head turns towards them, and 2 researchers are instantly transmuted into hexagonal columns of an unknown yellow-green material.
I hate this thing. I hate this thing. Bro, it's in the middle of a fight. It's getting its ass handed to it. And then it's also like, just do a little bit of torture on the side, you know? A little bit of torture on the side keeps things interesting. Shut the hell up, you stupid deer! I hate this deer, bro.
After a short time longer, Ross begins to pick up a signal from Site Command.
Team lead, this is Site Command. Do you read us?
Holy fuck! Yes! Yeah, I do. Do you hear me?
We do.
Oh my gosh.
You have appeared on our geolocating systems. Ross, you're not barred
Damn.
from the exit. Where is Captain Hollis and Arantu?
Arantu is dead. Hollis, she ran off a while back. We haven't seen her since then.
Understood.
Oh boy.
What about the rest?
We've suffered some casualties. Fuck. We've lost a few of the civilians and Vigo and a few others. It's really bad in here right now. Command, we're gonna need all the help we can get. Where's Enru?
She was behind us. Where is she?
Don't worry about that now. We're marking an extraction point on your visor. The extraction team is waiting for you there. We're going to get you all out.
The group hurries towards the extraction point as the site continues to collapse around them. Above ground, aerial surveillance captures footage of large sections of the site sliding into the ground and smoke beginning to billow from the power station and nearby mechanical facilities.
Dude, they actually might make it out. This is crazy. I actually didn't know if they were going to make it out of this, but maybe. Maybe. There's hope right now.
Jets of flame become visible as the earth beneath SCP-1730 begins to give way. Mobile Task Force Alpha 20 Holy Divers enters the site near the crumbling power station.
Oh my god, it's Tiny! Hello, Tiny! Welcome in! How are you doing? Dude, Tiny, we're watching this, like, absolute epic SCP. It's, like, basically a movie, right? And it's this, like, crazy SCP where they've, like, found this facility that's shown up, like, in the middle of nowhere. And it's got the most diabolical SCPs in it. And these guys are on, like, a rescue mission to get people out. Bro, we've still got an hour of this to go. It's crazy. There's so much happening. Also, Segs, hello. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Oh my gosh. Are they going to bombard the deer again? I hope they do. Bro, do you remember that? In the SCP about the deer, they're like, yeah, we just bombarded the deer and it didn't do shit. It was really funny.
The group of survivors comes into view and are immediately moved towards the access point and then away from the site by members of MTF-A20. As the rest of the task force members are pulled away from the site, a separate transmission reaches Site Command originating from Onru. Onru and Hollis are standing in front of the Thresher device, which roars with activity behind them. They are firing their weapons at an encroaching black mass in front of them, which is punctured by streaks of fire. In the background, the Servine entity can be seen tearing through black tendrils with its antlers as long rods of flaming metal streak across the room towards the black entity. Hollis turns towards the camera and is visibly laughing, firing her weapon openly. The hum of the machine behind them grows noticeably louder, eventually overtaking all other sounds in the room. Streaks of electricity arc across the ceiling above them. She smiles and turns towards Onru, who looks down to find her torso has been destroyed by a jet of flame. As Onru slumps to the side, the last shot is of Hollis, laughing hysterically and wildly firing her weapon as the enormous machine behind her begins to glow bright white. There is a flash, and the transmission ends.
Okay. Okay, sorry, flashbang first. It's over, guys. We've gone to heaven. No. I've had this theory, right, that the Thresher device in this building is transporting the building. This is my theory. This is my theory as to what's going on. I don't know if that's true, but I think we're about to find out if that's what's happening, right? My eyes! Good Lord, my eyes! All right, flashbang over.
Outside, as MTF-A20 continues to move 1730 researchers and personnel to safety, there is a deafening crackling sound, and a loud hum fills the air. The area around the site begins to visibly distort, as if seen through water, and then suddenly SCP-1730 is gone. In its place is an immense crater, over 1 kilometer in diameter.
I think I was right. Oh my gosh, I might have been right. I might have had the highest IQ in the room when I said that. For that 1 second that I said it. Oh my gosh.
No other transmissions are received from within the site. No other anomalous activity is detected. End log.
Oh my gosh.
Game wardens.
That's why it's neutralized? Yeah. Bro, I'm thinking some other reality has now got to deal with this thing, dude. That's what I'm thinking. That's crazy though. Oh my gosh.
Please state your name for the transcript.
Captain Ephraim Ross, Mobile Task Force Apollo 3, Game Wardens.
Thank you, Captain Ross. Alright, let's see. Your team was directed to infiltrate SCP-1730 and search for the source of the radio signal we were receiving. Is that correct?
Dude's fucking balding from the stress, man. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Congrats for being right. Hell yeah, dude. That rarely ever happens. Oh my gosh. It's not our problem anymore. Better them than us. I think that this is the thing that makes me feel uncomfortable with this SCP, right? Is that like, it's still the SCP Foundation's problem, just in another universe. And we already or what would you call it? Like a different alternate reality, right? But we already know there's SCPs that connect to other realities. And that's what's stressing me out.
It is.
Tell me about your initial incursion.
You've listened to the logs?
I haven't myself, no. They're still being processed.
It wasn't good in there. Best I can tell, wherever Site-13 came from. They were using it as a sort of end-of-line processing facility.
Damn.
Every so often we'd see placards up on these containment cells about how certain things were due for termination. Judging by what the Samsara team saw, that was about the case. They were bringing in anomalies, doing some invasive investigations to them and then destroying them.
What sorts of anomalies were being housed there? Could you tell?
I mean, shit, it was really hard to tell. Somewhere along the line, the power had gone out and it had all gone Jurassic Park in there. Of just what we encountered, there was some kind of encroaching blackness that fucked up Houston's legs. And have you seen Houston? Is he right?
Yeah, what's going on with Houston's legs? We've not had an update on this yet. Prepare to get depressed. So first off, I get traumatized, and now I have to get depressed. This is a great end to the week, guys.
He's being looked at by medical right now. They're going to bring him over here soon. I think he's probably all right.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, but other than that, there was also this thing. I don't know if it was a person or not, but it sort of bent space around it, and no.
It's okay, we can...
No, this needs to be done. We took some losses on all of the teams. It was bad. Based on what we saw at the end, it could have gotten a lot worse too.
Yeah.
They had these cells down below the site. They must have been the size of a football stadium each. Hollis had them open a few up so we could make our retreat, and the things inside. One of them looked at me like I might look at an ant.
Of course it's the deer, but also, for some reason, when that was happening, it didn't clock to me that that's what was going on. So they had the Gate Guardian and the deer in a cell here. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Yeah, I hate this deer as well, Tux. I hate this deer. It sucks. Of course it's looking at people like they're ants. It thinks it's better than them.
It was like a god, and they had them in boxes. I counted 20 of these cells, but that chamber went on a lot further past what I could see.
Oh my gosh.
How were they keeping them in there?
End log.
That's scary.
Mission debrief Agent Liam Halo, Mobile Task Force Apollo 3 Game Wardens. Begin log.
Alright, if you could please state your name for the official transcript. Agent Halo. Agent, we really have to file this report. If you could just cooperate with me for a moment so I can get your official testimony. We have counselors on site who can speak to you afterwards.
Halo refuses to answer. Instead, he reiterates he and the rest of the team were supposed to die inside SCP-1730.
What?
Oh, Halo.
End log. Mission debrief Irantu, Mobile Task Force Tau 5 Samsara. Begin log.
State your name for the record, please.
I am Irantu, lead of Mobile Task Force Tau 5.
I don't know why, but I expected these Samsara people to look a lot more like something out of Cyberpunk, but they don't. Interesting. I don't know why. I just had the perception they would look like something out of Cyberpunk, right?
Samsara.
In your own words, please describe the events that took place while you were within SCP-1730.
Of course. The Tau 5 team was inserted into SCP-1730 and began to move towards the source of the broadcast. Enru was able to track the location of the survivors and plotted a course towards them that would expose us to the fewest spatial hazards possible. Several times our course had to be adjusted due to unforeseen obstacles, but nothing that we were not able to overcome. Shortly after a rendezvous with Captain Hollis and the survivors, our extraction efforts led us through the section of the facility containing the Thresher machine, which we believe is what resulted in SCP-1730's existence within our universe. Shortly thereafter, during our retreat, I was terminated.
What? What? So he's the clone of himself, but he has the same memories. That is some crazy memory tech. Holy, can I get some of that? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Without the barcode on there? Dude, this guy be looking like he's out of Hitman if he had a barcode on his head. Oh my gosh.
I see. As for Agent Morris, Vigo, and the others...
They were also terminated.
Terminated?
Expired. Succumbed to their injuries.
I know what it means, Irantu. I can't help but feel as if you feel good about this.
I feel neither good nor bad. Only satisfied at the outcome.
What?
Our extraction mission was a success. With minimal loss of life, our team was able to infiltrate the extremely hazardous and volatile spatial anomaly and extract several high-value persons of interest.
Damn.
I do not know what else you would like me to say. We were exposed to a number of dangerous anomalies and were able to successfully carry out our mission.
Body swapping? Literal skinwalkers. Yeah, it's kind of giving that vibe, isn't it? Ooh. Ooh.
There were regrettable losses of capable and experienced personnel, but not outside our margin of error. On the contrary, our team performed better than our preliminary models predicted.
I see.
Damn.
Thank you, Irantu. I will be sure to include your remarks in the report.
You are welcome. As is required by Cooperative Mission Protocol, I would like the opportunity to debrief with Zeta-9 Captain Hollis.
Why?
Captain Hollis was killed within SCP-1730. Irantu?
Regrettable. Captain Hollis expressed great resilience in the face of near-certain failure. As protocol dictates, I will file my report instead with Captain Hollis's assigned site administrator's office. Thank you for your time, Doctor.
So weird.
End log. Mission debrief Agent Cotter Houston, Mobile Task Force Apollo 3 Game Wardens.
Oh my gosh, when that's a good outcome, yeah. I mean, I feel like I've said this before about these guys, like they're clearly very good at what they do, but like just the lack of a soul within them, it scares me, guys. How am I supposed to get my obols?
Begin log.
Alright, first off, I need your name for our logs.
Sure. I'm Cotter Houston, member of the Apollo 3 team.
I'm just gonna say it. There's a trend with everyone balding here. I feel like the stress has made them lose the hair. That's a thing, though. That is a thing. Like, stress makes you lose hair. I feel like that's what they're showing here. Because I swear we didn't see as many bald people in this building when we were, like, going through it, right? Oh my gosh. How fucked Site-13 was anyone getting out alive is a good thing. I mean, anyone getting out with hair is a good thing at this point. Like, geez. Oh my gosh. Hey, Cal, how's it going? Welcome on in. Welcome on in. We're watching a huge file at the moment. SCP-1730. The Foundation just does that to you, I guess. You'd think they have a cure for balding at this point. Like, for the stress that they're putting everyone through and everyone's just losing their hair because of it. Like, surely that should be part of the benefits package. God damn.
Good, good. Now, Agent Houston, describe to me your affliction here as much as you can.
Affliction?
Well, I'm sure it's pretty clear, but I don't have shins anymore. There's a line where the thing that covered them up came up to, and you can sort of see the inside of the leg there. Like it's been replaced with a flat piece of glass or something.
Ooh.
But I can still, I can still walk. It doesn't really feel like I'm missing anything down there. It just looks like it. And you can sort of run your hand through where they should be, obviously, because they're not there. But I don't feel that either. So, yeah.
Let's see. What can you tell me about this material you said you stepped in?
It fell in, actually. Or rather, I tripped. And it sort of just kept coming. We opened a door, and it looked like there wasn't anything on the other side of it. Then it started to rise through the door and up the stairwell. You ever played video games? It was like some sort of graphical glitch. It wasn't rising fast or anything, just steady. We eventually got to a door, but that was after I fell, and then this.
Can you tell me anything about the initial sensation?
Initial sensation?
Did it hurt?
Oh, no. I mean, I didn't realize what was happening at first. Everybody else was panicking, and then I looked down and saw they were gone, and I started panicking, but I mean, obviously I was alright. It never hurt, no. It just feels normal. Well, not normal. It's obviously weird. My legs are missing, and I think I might be in shock. But every now and then, I can sort of feel something sort of brush past them.
What?
Brush past them?
What?
Yeah. I mean, the parts that are missing down there. I thought I was imagining it at first, like guys who have phantom pain. But I can actually feel my legs, so I don't think it's that. It's like there's something sort of furry and kind of wet that just barely brushes past them.
What?
Who knows?
Ew!
Mission debrief Munro, Mobile Task Force Tau 5 Samsara. Begin log.
Are his legs down in another dimension? Potentially. Also, what's going on with these people? Literally everyone is balding here. There was a secret SCP in there that made them all bald. That's fucking crazy. Have we had a single person, like, actually who's not balding yet? I don't think we have. What is going on? What is going on? Also, hey, Eggy, how's it going? Welcome in, welcome in. Makes sense, his legs aren't invisible from what I can tell out of their phase. So he may be running into things in another dimension. Oh, that's so creepy, bro. That's so creepy. Those cuts are easy to maintain. You know what? You might be onto something there, because they're all soldiers, right? Like, technically, they're all soldiers. Maybe that's what's going on. But then why did that one guy get, like, get the dome shaved and not the rest of it, though, right? Like, that's an odd choice. I think they're balding. I'm not sold on the fact they're getting buzz cuts, because why would you get a buzz cut like that? Like, that's a weird to shave the upper bit and then not the sides, right? By choice, anyway.
When did you lose track of Captain Hollis?
In the chaos of our retreat, Captain Hollis was separated from us. I do not know when.
Munro, your camera was undamaged. We know you spoke to her before she left.
Damn. I'm not very good at that.
Why didn't you keep her from leaving your group?
I assume that any decision she would make in regards to her own personal behavior would be made with her experience and training in mind, both of which exceeded my own. Additionally, she outranked me.
Your mission parameters forbade you from allowing other team members from putting themselves in harm's way, and required that you do everything you could to mitigate loss of life. How do you reconcile your actions with those requirements?
Technically speaking, nothing I did allowed Captain Hollis to put herself in any danger. I could not foresee the outcome of her actions, and used my best judgment to justify my own. For all I knew, she could have been moving to a safer location.
Away from the group.
It would be illogical to assume that an agent with her level of experience would purposefully endanger themselves in an unpredictable situation.
This is strange. Like, was this guy put in there to be like, I was going to say meat shield, but then look at his arms, but it kind of feels like they're implying that, right? Because he's getting a bit of like a verbal fucking attack here, you know, off this guy, right? It's weird.
And you believe your justifications are an acceptable interpretation of your mission protocols?
Of course.
Very well. When you return to holding, you will be meeting with Arantu to discuss this. I hope your arguments hold up.
Dude, also, this guy looks like he's seen some shit, which we know he has. God damn.
As do I.
End log. Mission debrief en route, Mobile Task
So
Force Tau
weird.
5, Samsara. Begin log.
She's got hair. She's got hair. Her hair survived. I mean, I guess she got... Omru was the one who got taken out, though, right? So maybe she, you know, maybe the stress didn't get to her afterwards because the hair was, like, she died before the hair was in danger. Interesting. Interesting.
Why did you pursue Captain Hollis?
I believed I understood Captain Hollis's intentions before she left the group, based on her discussions with the team leads before we began our extraction. I feared that she might have not been capable of returning along our previous course without my assistance.
Your recording equipment went dark for a long period before becoming active again in the fresher area. What happened during that time?
Pink Ranger. Is she the Pink Ranger because she's the woman? Are we following the Power Ranger show rules? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hair is a valuable thing at the Foundation. That's what they get paid in, hair transplants.
Enru, I'm going to need an answer.
I disabled the equipment. There was a room we passed through that was different than had been before. It was the server room above the Olympia containment cells. I do not know how our path ended up there. I had not intended it to. It was a mistake. When we entered, it was on the room it had been, but...
What do you mean?
I am sorry.
What?
It's difficult to describe. When we entered the door, I could see the servers around me, but superimposed over them was... We were standing on a precipice, overlooking an area of size of which I cannot estimate. Below us were humans, screaming, their arms ending at their wrist, crying to the silent sky for restitution. And then the sky burned. It was like a star had fallen, and I had to look away. Hollis could not. When I turned back, I could see scorched corpses on the ground, billions of them. But billions of other living beings who came rushing toward the fallen star with their arms outstretched, and hanging in the star like a twisted marionette was, at Site-13, they called it Maladramajuan. In this place, they called it another name. A hateful name.
Why did you disable your recording equipment?
When I first encountered this entity, it created anomalous mimetic and cognitive hazards powerful enough to burn the scramble units out of my eyes. I do not know what it would have done to anyone who was not otherwise protected.
Oh.
What did it do to you?
It showed us things. Visions. Coils of fire and a sky made light with a storm of souls. A hole at the center of the universe that screamed at me. A god of nightmares. Something long and lean, slowly walking between endless rows of crucifixions, and then it showed something to Hollis that I did not see. When it did, the runes across its head began to pulse and burn, and the man who is strapped there to blister and fester. When it was done, I saw an ocean behind it and a blue sky. Our sky. It turned toward the ocean and sank into it. When it was gone, the visions faded and the room was empty.
I see.
What?
After that?
Hollis ran. I followed her. She said nothing until we reached the machine. She told me that she had been there alone for some time. She said she knew how to turn it on. Then she said she did not know where she would go, but that she needed to take the things she saw and bury them in the darkness. Before she could start the machine, the creatures from the containment cells came into the chamber, and I was terminated.
What?
Did Captain Hollis say anything to you before you died?
No. She only laughed. And wept.
Ugh. What, bro? What did she see, dude? What did she see? Yeah, this is horrific.
End log. Mission debrief Dr. Mohammed Scott, Site-13 Assistant Director of Temporal Studies. Begin log.
So this guy, for anyone who is not fully up to speed, this guy was one of the researchers who was in Site-13 that they've rescued and come out of it, right? So, like, he used to work there.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Dr. Mohammed Scott.
You seem to be a little out of place, Dr. Scott.
Only a little. Our timelines were not so different, I think.
Except for the one thing.
Yes, there is that.
Tell me about Site-13.
Site-13, do you want the brief version, or...?
As far as you can be.
Very well. Originally, there were plans to build a large containment facility in the American Midwest, but that was before... Let me back up. In 1964, the Foundation discovered a massive dead sea creature washed up on the shore near the Indian-Bangladeshi border. No facility in the region had the kind of infrastructure it took to hold the body of this entity, let alone study it, so several ships were dispatched, and it was dragged through the ocean back towards the United States. Prior to this, the plan was to build Site-19 in the American Midwest, but afterwards, it was decided that there was no way to conceal a creature of this size and shuttle it across the U.S. mainland, so after some deliberation, the Site-19 plans were scrapped, and the focus was given to another facility near Nome, Alaska. That was Site-13. Even in the beginning, it was massive, considerably larger than any other site the Foundation managed, and it quickly became our premier containment facility. It was remote, fortified, and best of all, easily concealed in the snow and ice. After the Soviet Union collapsed in '85, we learned they didn't even know Site-13 existed, let alone where it was.
I see. When did you join the Foundation, Dr. Scott?
Oh, in '76. I joined straight out of university, recruited by one of the administrators at my school, and that was back when we were still independent. I worked at Site-22 in Bermuda. The best job I ever had. It was a much different Foundation.
Tell me about what happened to the Foundation.
Site-13 was very expensive to operate, and there were some financial difficulties.
There's no way. There's no way that's what kicked this all off. There's no way. That's crazy. If it's a financial problem that, like, kicked this all into existence, that's mad. Oh my gosh.
In 1994, a Marxist extremist from the Ukraine detonated a bomb in the basement of the Manchester Financial Tower in Chicago. A fire started at the base of the building, and eventually the tower collapsed at its base and fell over on its side. Thousands died. The United States government was enraged at the Foundation after it was discovered that the extremists in question had used an anomaly to enter the basement and get past security. Thought that the billions of dollars the United States was funneling into the Foundation were being wasted. After the 1996 election, President Dole decided to cut all funding for Foundation sites in the States.
What?
All the funding went to keeping those sites afloat. With the weight of Site-13, the situation was dire.
So what happened?
A compromise. A former Dole staffer named Paul Manafort was appointed as the Secretary General of the Global Occult Coalition and came to us with a solution. We group our resources with the coalitions, combining our efforts to protect normalcy under their leadership. We could keep our name and our sites, but directors would be appointed by the UN Security Council. And we would once again receive funding from the United States, as well as that generated by the United Nations, and would be able to keep the lights on. But the Overseer Council refused. They hunkered down at Overwatch Command and refused to bend the knee. Then, a few years later, a site in Portland, Oregon collapsed due to crumbling infrastructure, and a creature we called the Dream Whale was spotted floating down the California coast. This was very early internet days, but that didn't stop film cameras, and it was a disaster. The Overseers mobilized all of our task forces in the area, but we didn't even have money for the amnestics. In a day, it would be over San Francisco, and that would basically be the end of it. Then we got an internet email that the Overseer Council had been disbanded, and that the Foundation was now under the operation of the GOC. Secretary General Manafort and the Security Council established a new board of directors overnight, and before the sun rose, the Dream Whale was recontained and every loose end was tied up.
I mean, at least they dealt with the situation, but still, that's kind of wild. What the heck? Oh my gosh.
Nobody resisted the change in leadership?
Why would we? We suddenly had money. We were no longer having to decide between taking notes from the back of our hands or not taking them at all. Secretary General Manafort installed a new Foundation administrator, Vice President Jack Kemp. but he was a little more than a figurehead. New directors were appointed, most of them from our own site staff, so it looked good, honestly. We were finally able to carry out our mission to its fullest. We had technology, we had personnel. It was wonderful. We started to hear about people being reassigned, anomalies being shipped off-site and never returning. You'd hear people talk about, oh, so-and-so is in trouble now, they're going to be sent to Site-13. I thought most of it was just talk, and then I was reassigned in 2003.
What was it like?
Cold. Site-13 was immense and the light stayed on, but that facility was always cold. They were always working on the site, more and more construction underground, and they kept leaving the exterior doors open. At first it wasn't so bad. I was able to keep doing my research, I had more funding than ever. Temporal spatial studies, you know? The director then was Jack Bright, one of the old doctors from back in the day. Very charismatic, staff loved him. He had a medallion he wore, some anomaly from way back that made him immortal. So
I love that we're getting a Dr. Bright reference. Dude, this SCP is referencing so many other SCPs. It's wild.
As long as he had it on, he wouldn't age. Anyway, things were great for a few years. Then one day, another popular doctor is found dead in her office, Cynthia Light. The story we get is that Bright had fancied her, but when he found she was with another man, he went and killed her in a fit of passion.
Did he? Or is this like a cover-up for something? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Amnestics probably, which is how the GOC likely tied up loose ends, since they would now have access to the Foundation supply of it, and how to make more. That's true. Good point. Dr. Cynthia Light isn't just dead. Dr. Light is crucified. I think I remember the name Cynthia Light. I think she was in another SCP that we saw. Probably a cover-up, or boy.
Bright is summarily locked up, and Elliot Emerson is installed as the director of Site-13.
What's that?
Emerson was on one of Bright's research teams when he was assigned to Site-15. He wasn't a popular doctor, but he was a good administrator and helped make sure that the important project stayed afloat during the financial crisis. He was on the short list of people to become the director of Site-13 after the reorganization, but Bright got picked over him. Some people said he felt slighted. A lot of people said he framed Bright. I think Manafort didn't like Bright's anti-coalition sentiments. Had him made out to be some dangerous anomaly that had to be contained, and then put Emerson up because nobody would complain about Emerson. He was very middle of the road, didn't stand out. Elliot ended up doing some terrible things, but I truly believe he was only doing them because Manafort demanded it.
Oh, now the body on top of the SCP getting slowly toasted. Oh, now it doesn't feel like as much a vindication as it was before. Oh, I don't know about this one, guys. I don't know about this one. What happened to the Soviet Union in this timeline, bro? There's all sorts of wild stuff going on. Someone, like, replaced the president, I think. Someone from the... Was it the GOC replaced the president? I think? Oh my gosh. There's a lot. There's a lot happening. Emerson is a lackey, not a mastermind. Yeah, that's what I mean, though. Him being toasted alive feels a bit mean now.
What kind of terrible things?
I didn't see much until years later, but I always heard about things happening deeper below the site. They were building all the new containment cells and research facilities. Then they built the incinerator. Originally it was made so they could dispose of the body of that sea monster from before, but then they just started using it for everything. First they were doing some invasive testing on anomalous animals, then on humans, then the vivisections began. The ethics committee tried to step in, but they were removed. They dragged the old chairman, Jeremiah Sumerian, out into the commons at Site-17 and shot him in the head for being a traitor.
Are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed to do that? I guess that's what happens when you get rid of the ethics committee, bro. Holy. Oh my gosh. To get ready? Oh boy. Oh boy.
Peter Grenwald became the Foundation GOC ethics head, and of course, all the new tests were approved. I don't know what they were testing for, but if you were anomalous and you weren't found to have it, you went into the body pit.
I swear, this is giving me SCP-049 vibes so bad.
I kept hearing, it's for the greater good, it's for the protection of mankind. What were we supposed to do, speak out and end up like Sumerian? Maybe for a braver man, but I knew the work I was doing was good, so I kept my head down and carried on. Then,
damn.
It sounds silly now. In 2010, we contained God. Not just any God either, the Abrahamic God, the actual thunder and lightning, Yahweh, fire, brimstone God. I don't know how they managed that. Some technology developed by the Coalition, I'm sure. And that was just the first. They filled Site-13 to the brim with everything they could get their hands on.
Well, that is a lot. I guess the only other question I have immediately is, what happened to Site-13?
Vera Hadley, doctor of internal medicine from some site in Italy. For a few years, she was the site's chief biologist. The Security Council made her the assistant director of anomalous biology at the same time and was promoted to the same position for temporal studies. She and Elliot had been together, and she pretty adamantly opposed everything he was making us do. Elliot kept his tail between his legs, but Manafort wouldn't have it. He had her stripped of her position after just 3 months and demoted to junior researcher after that.
Oh,
One
damn!
night, after staging some kind of demonstration, some guards showed up and, well, they stripped her naked and inspected her for contraband right in the middle of the main corridor. When they were done and satisfied, they nearly beat her to death and left her there.
What is wrong with these people? Oh my gosh.
Myself and a few other doctors took her to the medical center and she recovered, but she never really recovered. Something inside her had died or been replaced with something else. She did something, hatched some scheme. She sent me an email about it the night before she did it, but I didn't pay attention. When it happened, and when that thing attacked the site, Emerson came and begged me to turn on the thresher. It was supposed to be an absolutely last-ditch effort to protect the world, a wholly untested piece of technology that was just as likely to have burned the world than saved it. Its entire existence was the result of a joke, one that I might have taken too seriously at the time, but either way, I refused, told him the risk was too great. That even if it worked, we were just creating a problem for another world, but he was inconsolable. He told me that staying and facing the Secretary General would be a fate worse than death. He pulled a gun on me, demanded I do it. I fled. I put together my team in the hopes that we could escape, but before we could even leave our lab, it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Are you alright?
Yes. The Thresher was a complicated machine. I guess I should count myself lucky that we survived at all, but we may very well have been in that strange space between worlds for 1,000 years.
What?
When we awoke, we were still in Site-13, but the cells were thrown open and the inmates were loose. If you hadn't come down for us, we would have died. I'm certain of this.
Do you know where Site-13 has gone?
There's no way to predict it. Chances are it'll be at a place like this. But then, it may not. It could be any number of strange and unknown worlds. You knew someone who was left with that.
I do.
As do I. We were not the only survivors, though there were not many of us. Well, they did not fare as well as we did. It is a tragedy, but there is nothing that can be done now. Only hope. Maybe. I hope that after all this, Emerson has found some peace. He truly was a great doctor, and was my friend.
I don't know about peace, dude. I don't know about peace. Oh my gosh. Bro really said they made the Thresher because of a joke. That is actually wild. That is so wild. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Just casually in the in-between space. You know, normal, but casual. Casual 1,000 years in the in-between. Don't worry about it. You have a lot more to go. Yeah, we gotta keep getting through this one.
Of course. Thank you for your time, Dr. Scott. We'll speak again soon.
Damn.
End log. The best way to understand SCP-1730 is to take all the information we can gain from the file and create a chronology of events. Most of the answers to many of our questions are not answered until the end of the file, so to understand what happened to Site-13, I'm going to walk us through it from beginning to end and answer all your questions and finally explain what happened to Site-13.
Okay.
Firstly, we need to establish that there are two universes in this SCP. There is the universe where SCP-1730 came from, and our own universe where SCP-1730 ended up. Think of the other universe as like a parallel version of our universe, where things are mostly the same, but a little bit different. The other universe is where the timeline begins. We start our story in 1964, where a massive dead sea creature washed up on the shores of the Indian-Bangladeshi border. The creature was so large that there was no Foundation facility that possessed the infrastructure to contain it. The SCP Foundation had plans to build a new site, Site-19, in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, somewhere in the US. But the creature was so large that there was no way the Foundation could have transported it there without it being noticed. In the end, the plans to build Site-19 was scrapped, and instead Site-13 was built in Alaska. Site-13 was to be the biggest and grandest Foundation facility ever constructed. It also had the benefit of being remote, fortified and concealed. Once it was built, the sea creature was hauled away by ship to the new site. We now jump ahead to 1976. This is where Dr. Scott enters the story. Dr. Scott is the man who would eventually go on to reveal the lion's share of information on Site-13 to the SCP Foundation in our own universe during his debrief. Dr. Scott was recruited as an SCP researcher straight out of university and toddled off to begin his career at Site-22 in Bermuda. We jump ahead now to 1994. A Marxist extremist blew up a building in Chicago, resulting in the death of thousands. An investigation revealed that the terrorists used an anomalous device in order to bypass security without being detected. The United States government was royally pissed off at this and claimed that the billions of dollars of funding given to the SCP Foundation was wasted money, and in 1996, they suspended all funding. Now, what with Site-13 being the biggest Foundation site ever constructed, the upkeep wasn't cheap, and the Foundation soon found themselves strapped for cash. The Secretary General of the GOC, a lovely chap called Paul Manafort, came to the O5 Council of the SCP Foundation with a proposal.
Insane uni career suggestion, by the way. When I grow up, I want to work at the SCP Foundation. Dude, that's so crazy. That's wild.
Basically said, look, you guys sail under our colours, let us appoint the guys in charge, and we'll give you even more money than before, and you can even keep your brand and your sites. The O5 Council harnessed their inner Simon Pegg and said, jog on. A few years of crumbling infrastructure later, and a creature called the Dream Whale escaped containment and went for a joyride down the California coast. The Foundation did what they could, but their forces were withered and bare by now, and they didn't have the money for an effective amnestics program anymore. This was when the GOC said enough was enough, and in less than a day, they launched a takeover of the SCP Foundation and disbanded the O5 Council. They appointed a new board of directors to oversee everything, and the Dream Whale was recontained before the next day. For the next few years, all was rosy. The SCP Foundation soared to new heights under the control of the GOC. They had funding, technology, personnel, and they could complete every mission and assignment to the fullest. It was the glory years for them. During this time, though, Site-13 began to establish a reputation for being a bit of a hellhole. Anomalies would be sent there never to be seen again, and staff would be transferred there if they found themselves in hot water. Dr. Scott was one of the unlucky ones to be transferred to Site-13 in 2003. Site-13 at this time was in a constant state of growth. The funding was pouring in, more so than any other site. There was greater research being done on things such as temporal and spatial studies, and the site was always being expanded with more floors and containment wings being built. Now here we get into some juicy workplace drama. At the time, Dr. Bright was in charge of Site-13. Now Dr. Bright did not care very much for the GOC, nor the takeover, and frequently made anti-GOC sentiments that ticked off the GOC Secretary General Paul Manafort. At the same time, one of Dr. Bright's colleagues, a guy called Dr. Elliot Emerson, held a grudge against Dr. Bright because Bright was picked over Emerson as the director of Site-13 despite Emerson's squeaky clean record, decades of dedicated loyalty, and Emerson being very high up on the shortlist to become the Site-13 director. Manafort used Emerson to sort out his Dr. Bright problem. Another researcher called Cynthia Light was murdered, and Dr. Bright was framed for the murder. He was locked up, and Dr. Emerson was made the new director of Site-13, his loyalties being not to the SCP Foundation, but to Paul Manafort. Over the next few years, Site-13 turned into a death camp for the anomalous. A colossal incinerator was constructed to destroy the anomalies that Site-13 no longer had need of. It's important to note that Emerson didn't hate the anomalies, at least not yet. He was an original loyal SCP Foundation researcher prior to the takeover after all. Rather, he was just in Paul Manafort's debt and owed his position and the removal of Bright to him.
So it's like kind of like an unspoken, like almost blackmail situation, right?
Manafort had his own agenda, of course, being from the GOC, who are more about destroying the anomalies instead of containing them. And so horrendous experiments were conducted on them, 2 of which we are made aware of in the recovered files. One was a Class 8 reality bender. They cooked it, they froze it, they drowned it, and they electrocuted it. Each time they used another SCP to revive it just so they could experiment on it again.
Oh, that's horrific. That's so bad. That's so bad.
In the end, the entity was so extensively damaged that even the unnamed SCP could not revive it, and it was sent to the incinerator. Another was a humanoid creature that originally resisted the experiments, but eventually succumbed, and after it was butchered by Site-13 researchers, it became the Writer on the Walls, an entity we see a couple of times that writes cognitohazardous on the walls. Now, at some point hereafter, the Ethics Committee tried to step in, but they were quickly shut down, and the chairman, Dr. Sumerian, got his brains blown out for his trouble. A new puppet Ethics Committee was put in place, all loyal to Emerson and Manafort. They approved all the diabolical experiments and justified it by saying it was to protect humanity.
Dude, the rot goes deep. The rot goes so deep here. It's crazy. This is like insane workplace conspiracy going on. This is mad.
By 2010, Site-13 was now containing actual gods and other entities beyond comprehension. Examples include the Gate Guardian, the Deer, and as claimed by Dr. Scott, the real deal Abrahamic thunder and lightning god, most likely SCP-343, depending on which canon you follow. Now we don't know how to do it, and in fact even trying to comprehend the science or witchcraft required to contain the Gate Guardian, for example, is just crazy. Thanks to all the research into spatial and temporal studies, as well as all the experiments on reality benders, I like to think the GOC by now had access to some pretty sophisticated equipment, capable of literally moving the Guardian from one place to another by manipulating reality around it.
Yeah,
it is at
probably.
this point in our story that another character enters the fold, a lady called Dr. Vera Hadley. She was the chief biologist for a time, but was later promoted to assistant director of anomalous biology. Now she and Emerson were together for a time, and she fundamentally opposed everything Emerson was doing, and because Emerson didn't want to sleep alone, he became a simp for her. But dear old Paul Manafort was having none of that, and he had—
I'm sorry, I really like Mr. Illustrated's descriptions. He became a simp. I love it, I love it. He's just keeping it real. He's just keeping it real, guys.
Had her demoted to junior researcher, and her and Emerson's relationship ended on very bad terms. Dr. Hadley wrote a letter to the new ethics committee formally requesting to be transferred away from Site-13 and all the baggage that came with it. She cited her concerns for Emerson's treatment of the anomalies and her disdain towards the overall attitude to killing everything. Of course, the ethics committee were loyal to Emerson, and so they rebutted her accusations and denied her transfer request. Dr. Hadley later went on to stage a demonstration against what was going on in Site-13. She was stripped naked and beaten half to death by the security teams in front of everyone to both punish her and set an example to the other staff. After seeing Dr. Sumerian executed and Dr. Hadley stripped and beaten, the status quo of Site-13 was cemented. However, dear viewer, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, so they say. While Dr. Hadley recovered from her wounds, she never mentally recovered. And
I mean, when they put it like this, now I can see why she was getting so sassy over everything, okay? Now I understand, okay? I sympathize.
So she hatched a plan filled with hate and anger and despair. A plan so catastrophic that it would literally tear a hole in the fabric of reality itself.
Gosh.
Like I said, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. During her time, Dr. Hadley worked with an anomaly called Elijah, a young boy with the mental capacity of a 2-year-old. The boy subsisted only on blood and could siphon it right through people's skin like a leech. Dr. Hadley grew attached to Elijah, and when Emerson decided to have the boy transferred to the incinerator, this would prove to be the catalyst to begin Dr. Hadley's revenge.
I'm not even gonna lie. I think I've called most of the things in this correctly. I think they're about to say that the leech is Elijah. I swear. I am on a roll today. Holy.
Firstly, she began to put some things in place. Dominoes, if you like. So when shit hit the fan, every domino would fall one after the other, resulting in a crescendo of fucked up. Site-13 had been in the process of constructing and perfecting a vague reality-altering device known as the Thresher device. It was meant to be a final failsafe to save the world in a last-ditch attempt if all else failed. All the research on temporal and spatial studies fed into this thing. However, it was unstable, untested, and unreliable. At the same time, Site-13 was destroying so many anomalies so fast that the incinerator could not keep up with demand, and the engineers noted that the excess waste, instead of being pumped off site, was instead being sucked up via the air intake into Site-13's reactor. Dr. Hadley instructed the engineers that at the next activation phase of the Thresher device, the Site-13 reactor should surge to 55 gigawatts and activate the device. Of note is that the regular activation phase was only 35 gigawatts, and the engineer shared his concerns that firing up the device at 55 gigawatts would likely result in the destabilization of local reality and a full reactor failure.
Oh jeez. Moody, are you psychic? Listen, I feel like after a year of watching SCPs, I'm starting to get to the point where I can kind of suss out the stories sometimes. One day I will be goated and I will be able to tell what's going to happen in every single one. But I'm getting it. You're watching me develop my SCP skills in real time. We're getting there.
Dr. Hadley also instructed the engineers to adjust the incinerator parameters and confirmed that the waste runoff was still blocked. And at last, the dominoes fell. When Elijah was deposited into the incinerator, the fire was not enough to destroy him, thanks to Dr. Hadley adjusting the incinerator parameters. Instead, the fires just agitated him, and thanks to Dr. Hadley ensuring the waste runoff was still blocked, Elijah now had a near unlimited supply of anomalous blood to feed on. Elijah feasted on the blood, turning into a colossal creature fueled by thousands and thousands of anomalous entities.
That's
The
crazy.
situation quickly grew completely out of control. Dr. Hadley sent a final message to Emerson chastising him for everything he had done and said he could either stay here and be devoured by the entities he had been torturing, or activate the Thresher device and hope it would send him somewhere safe.
That's crazy. Give Moody a phone because he's going to call it, bruh. Bruh, it's getting predictable for Moody. Yeah, you guys are going to have to start suggesting SCPs that have, like, wild twists in them now. You got to challenge me.
Either way, the world would be free of his filth. She then went to join Elijah, where she would also be assimilated into the mass. However, maybe out of some residual awareness for her, Elijah, instead of consuming Dr. Hadley, conjoined her to his tongue so the two would exist together. Emerson, after realizing what had happened, went to Dr. Scott and ordered him to activate the Thresher device.
Kind of nightmare fuel, kind of cute.
Dr. Scott refused, citing the risks of doing so, and managed to escape with his staff after Emerson pulled a gun on him. A team, Charlie Yukon, was dispatched to try and recover Site-13, but by now the situation was well past the point of recovery. The team noted a number of leeches, one of which killed one of their team members. The other team members stumbled across a cognito hazard left by the writer on the walls that had now breached containment. They used explosives to destroy the wall, but the effects had already begun to manifest in their team. It is at this point that they heard the Thresher device fire up. The situation here went from bad to worse, thanks to Dr. Hadley ensuring the waste runoff was still blocked. Lots of the excess waste was still being sucked up the air intake into the reactor, as the engineer had alluded to earlier. In addition, Dr. Hadley ensured that the reactor would surge to 55 gigawatts when the Thresher device was activated. Due to this surge in power and the lack of adequate cooling, the reactor failed, resulting in several catastrophic system failures across the site. Of the 12 reactor cores, only 2 remained functional, one being superheated. The electrical, fire control, flood control, and Keter-class containment systems all shut down, with the reactor and Euclid-class containment systems left in critical condition. The Thresher device ended its final phase, and Site-13 was transferred across dimensions into our own universe, and that is where the main story picks up. In our own universe now, the SCP Foundation stumbles across Site-13. They note how there were plans to build Site-13, but it was scrapped to build Site-19 instead. They also note the site is in a severe state of disrepair, with a damaged reactor, fuel and fire leaks, and intermittent power failures. They also identify flora inside native to the Alaskan region. The Foundation sends in MTF-D12, the Mudslingers. The first thing they discover is writing on the walls saying, "Get below and don't look at the walls." This is a pretty common occurrence going forward. Plenty of messages can be found written on the walls of the site, presumably left behind by leech puppets and victims of the writer on the walls. Disturbingly, it seems the further into the bowels of the site they venture, the more unhinged the messages become. The Mudslingers go down an elevator and begin exploring several rooms, some filled with an unknown sludge. This sludge is the same waste runoff that got sucked up the air intake into the Site-13 reactor. It has been deposited around Site-13 thanks to the unstable reality of the site.
What do you mean it's cute? It's like kind of cute that he keeps the woman. Like, he's like, oh, I can't eat mum. It's kind of cute. It's also horrendous because it's a giant leech that's awful, but it's kind of cute. It's kind of cute. You gotta see, listen, you gotta see the positives in the negatives, guys, okay? You can't just be looking at the negatives all the time, right?
They find some bodies and engage a few leeches before realizing the topography has changed and their way back has disappeared. They happen across a door marked silence and choose to smash the fucking thing down, and come face to face with a naked humanoid with fire coming out of its ears. The team screams and the humanoid blows up. Site Command hears a variety of wet sounds, which is the leeches attacking the dead or dying team members before communication is lost. Site Command re-establishes communication with a couple of team members who encourage Site Command to send a recovery team and advise against Site Command's attempts to get their body cameras working. The cameras come back online to reveal both the team members are in fact dead, and the sounds of the leeches can be heard in the background. Obviously, this was the leeches using the dead agents as puppets and trying to get the Foundation to send more bodies for them to feed on.
Dude, they're so devious. They're so devious. That's crazy.
The Foundation next sends MTF-Y24, the Gulliver's Travelers. They head towards the reactor and note the damaged cores and the superheated one. They find more of the sludge and note several human bodies bound to the side of the reactor core with the words "What happened to Site-13" written beneath them. The team follows some power lines from the reactor headed towards the body pit, but then their communications fail and Site Command loses all contact with the team. A week later, and the team's body cameras come back online for a few seconds and show a group of survivors standing around before cutting out permanently.
So
Evidently,
creepy.
One of the team members found the survivors. This is supported by the testimony of the game wardens, who would enter the site later and tell Site Command that they found one of the Gulliver's Travelers with the survivors. The Foundation next sends in a drone.
They sent in Wally, guys. What the heck? What the heck?
Drone finds more writing on the walls, this time saying kill the quiet ones and don't look at the walls. This is all in reference to the cognitohazardous effect of the writer on the walls. The drone then happens across the writer on the walls, now wandering the halls of Site-13.
Smart leeches, yeah, I really don't need that. I don't need that in my lifetime. Thank you very much.
You'll remember the writer on the walls is the same entity that originally resisted the Site-13
Oh, yeah.
but eventually succumbed. The drone watches the writer use some of the sludge on the floor to write several symbols on the walls. After taking some photos, it loses track of the writer and instead begins exploring some containment cells, one of which contains the corpse of the imprisoned Dr. Bright minus their amulet. It would seem Dr. Bright was never released after their imprisonment and died from thirst or starvation after the whole site went to pot. Furthermore, the amulet was confiscated to ensure he could not come back. The drone makes its way to an office floor and finds the computer of Dr. Hadley. It transfers the files on the computer back to Site Command before communication is lost with the drone. The attending staff who witnessed the symbols on the wall left behind by the writer all begin to show an anomalous influence, growing silent with fire burning from their ears. This is the effect of the writer on the walls, and it turns out the writing is a pyroclastic cognitohazard that affects anyone aware of the symbols. The slightest noise will cause the affected people to explode. Needless to say, most of the research team and their equipment was destroyed. I have made a separate video of the writer on the walls, and you can find that here. The Foundation next send in MDF-Zeta-9, the mole rats. They are equipped with specialized goggles designed to filter out the cognitohazardous writing. They come across more sludge and dozens of dead bodies drained of blood by the leeches. 2 agents are killed by leeches and falling debris, while communications with the rest of the team are lost save for a few sporadic intermittent communications and a short camera clip from one of the agents, observing the prime leech creature in a large pit covered in smaller leeches with several broken pipes draining into it.
You make a good point, Tux, because I don't think we've seen it. Have we seen any D-class in this whole SCP? I don't think we have, right? Maybe the GOC, like, doesn't agree with the whole, like, D-class testing thing. Maybe that's what's going on. It's interesting, though, right? Because usually we see a D-class in, like, every single SCP. I don't think we've seen one in this. Interesting. Interesting.
An audio transmission is soon detected from Site-13. It is Dr. Scott revealing he and several others are still alive within Site-13 and are requesting help and extraction. The SCP Foundation decides to begin conducting search and recovery missions. MTF Apollo 3, the game wardens go in. They go down a stairwell to find a void at the bottom which quickly begins to ascend.
This universe isn't using them. Oh, I guess, yeah, because they've... I mean, you'd think there would still be some use for that, right? I mean, not that... Listen, I'm the first person to say I think it's not chill, but... It's interesting, because I feel like they could still use the D-class to test stuff, right? Like, they've still got to find the SCPs and, like, figure out what their abilities are, right? So who are they using for that? Are they just using staff? Is like that the way the GOC deals with stuff? They just send like regular employees in? Interesting. I don't know. It's an interesting way of looking at it, right? Because we haven't seen anything like this before.
It envelops one of their team members' legs, removing them just below the knee without any adverse effects. The team member is still able to walk and can even feel the sensation of having his lower legs, they just aren't there anymore. The agent would later go on to say that he can feel something brushing against them on occasion. I believe this is a reference to SCP-529, better known as Josie the cat, who is also missing her legs, and what Houston is feeling is the back half of Josie rubbing up against his legs like a cat would. They find him writing on the walls, before finding a body conjoined with the wall in an apparent reality warping incident. They identify this person as Zachary. This is SCP-1500. The team is then attacked by a reality bender that attacks 2 of the team members. A reality anchor dispatches the anomaly, but one of the team members is fused across 10 meters of wall and ceiling.
Site-13 is for destroying SCPs, not testing. Yeah, I guess that also kind of makes sense. Although I am very curious, like, what was in those big cells? Like, the deer... Listen, I'm all on board for destroying that deer god. Get that thing out of here. I'm curious about, like, the logic behind destroying the Gate Guardian. Also, like, I'm wondering what else was in there, right? Maybe they're just indiscriminate. Maybe they just want to destroy everything because they're just done with this whole SCP thing, right? But I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. It is very interesting.
The team move through a chamber containing colossal containment cells before entering a communications area where they encounter a camera feed of SCP-993, Bubble the Clown. Bubble reveals most of what we already know by now, including how Site-13 even managed to burn down the Wanderer's library, which again demonstrates a haunting reality of just how powerful the GOC were by this point. The library is a whole separate reality unto itself and will resist anything that attempts to harm it. Bubble wishes the team well as they leave the room. Communications with the team are lost but eventually are re-established. While the communications have only been lost for 30 minutes, 3 days has passed inside Site-13 thanks to the reality distortion.
The GOC is more destroying SCPs than containing them. Is it that in every instance though? Because I swear I've come across the GOC before and the SCP Foundation have worked with the GOC. Which is like making me kind of curious as to whether it's just in this reality the GOC are like mega evil, destroy everything, or if they're always like that. Because I feel like the SCP Foundation never wants to destroy them, right? The GOC like to destroy anything not helpful to humans. Oh, okay, right. That makes a little bit more sense. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, no, you know what? You've jogged my memory. I think I remember that now. I think I remember that.
The wardens have by now found Dr. Scott and the other survivors, but know their situation is deteriorating rapidly and are in need of urgent assistance. Site Command tells them to prep for evac, and the MTF Samsara are on the way. The Foundation sends in MTF Tau 5 Samsara. They enter through a drainage tunnel and come across several child bodies from the incinerator. They scale the pipes and force their way through a wall into the main building of Site-13. They find one of the incinerators still blocked thanks to Dr. Hadley's orders. They turn on the incinerator, and several turbines spool up, turning the bodies into a slurry before several jets of fire scorch the remains.
It's case by case. Yeah, that makes more sense now. That makes more sense. They work with the GOC if the threat is great enough. Ah, okay. Because in our reality, the GOC don't have the resources or mainly the knowledge of the Foundation to simply destroy. Thank you. That was the connector I was wondering about. Makes sense. Thank you, Manny. That actually does make sense now.
The team moves through the incinerator before encountering a leech that begins feasting on the slurry. Enru uses a tool to study the creature's brain and reveals that all the leeches act like fingers of the prime leech below them. They are merely extensions searching the site for more blood. They are infesting the site, and the team uses this to create a map for them to better understand the topography.
Also, I guess like the whole storyline with like the GOC coming into control makes a lot more sense because like from a government perspective, right? Like it makes more sense for them to be like, oh, let's just destroy a bunch of these like hostile things rather than like, let's try and exploit them. I mean, listen, guys, we all know that the government have been destroying all the aliens, right? Like we're all agreed. We're on the same page. They've all been doing that. So this is a fun reflection of what might happen in the SCP universe if the government got in control of that. But no, I think it makes sense to me anyway, from like that perspective, that they probably would. What? They've been destroying that. They admitted. Do you not remember? They admitted that they found a bunch of aliens and then they were just like, they just destroyed a bunch of them or something. Do you guys not remember this? Like, this was like, I can't believe people don't remember this. This was like a huge thing. Like the American government admitted that they found aliens. Like they admitted it and then they were like, yeah, like they don't exist anymore or something. Like, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Legitimately, this was the thing. And everyone on social media was like memeing because they were like, no one cares that the aliens are here. Do you know, I can't believe no one remembers this. This was like huge. Oh my gosh. Well, not anymore. There's not any aliens. Not anymore that we know of. But yeah, they got rid of a bunch of them. Which is, listen. Art reflects life, okay? That's all I'm saying.
They use this to both locate the survivors and decide on a route to take to get them to their location. The team sets off and finds more writing on the walls. This time it is just the word blood written over and over again. They come to the server room and note the leeches act really strange in there. As they enter, they experience a cessation in sound and note a drop in temperature to -20 degrees Celsius.
You're American and you don't remember that? This was legit a thing. I swear this was a thing and everyone was memeing about the aliens, dude. Like, they were all memeing that they didn't care that we'd announced that we found aliens because everyone's life was, like, so bad. Like, I swear this was the thing. Like, look it up. I swear to God, they admitted they found aliens, I swear.
They eventually discover a creature referred to as the Marladramarduan, a super powerful, many-limbed reality bender. This creature is actually this universe's version of the SCP-001 proposal by Dr. Gears, better known as the prototype. I made a whole video on this creature that you can find here. Emerson is discovered to be strapped to the head of this creature in an eternal cycle of torment and punishment. The team are attacked, but manage to escape and soon find the survivors. With everyone prepped to go, the team begins their escape. They soon encounter the writer on the walls, who attacks them with several cognitohazards. The writer is promptly shot and killed by the team. However, part of the prime leech then smashes its way through the floor, consumes the writer's body, and begins to flood the floor with leeches and attack the group. Munru and Nanku of Tau 5 stay behind to provide cover fire, while the rest of the group diverts another way. The group soon encounters SCP-553, the crystal butterflies. Irantu destroys them, but is severely damaged in the process. The group then make their way to the Thresher device chamber, but the room is sealed. Bobble the Clown appears on a monitor and lets them in. He refers to a character called Tammy, who I cannot identify.
I swear to God, the person who wrote this watched a ton of Neon Genesis. This was DJ Cactus that wrote this, right? Someone confirm, is he a Neon Genesis fan?
So if you have any idea on who that is, please share it in the comments. They enter the Thresher chamber and note hundreds of creatures hanging from the ceiling. The wall then falls, and a massive part of the prime leech enters the chamber. The commotion wakes the creatures on the ceiling that begin attacking the leech and the group as they run for the Thresher device. The group provides cover fire as Irantu and Onru head for the Thresher device and disable it by entering the information provided by Dr. Scott. A second leech extension smashes its way through the floor and begins flooding the room with smaller leeches. The team escapes the room, but by disabling the Thresher machine, the topography has all reset. Walls have suddenly appeared, and some doors now open to nowhere. The team encounters SCP-2316, the bodies in the water, and finds more writing on the walls, this time saying Emerson happened to Site-13 and have become blasphemous. The team enter a garage and have a short fight with SCP-1370 before regrouping with Munru and Nanku, both of which are injured.
People were like, wow, aliens, cool. How am I going to pay my rent this month? That literally was everyone's reaction. I'm not even joking. Everyone was like, yeah, whatever. But like, I can't afford eggs right now. Like, I remember it. It was so funny.
Captain Hollis, the Mole Rat's team captain, leads the group towards the Olympia-class containment wing as the leeches pursue them through the crumbling site. The team opens two of the Olympia containment cells as the prime leech breaks down the wall. It screams and opens its mouth to reveal Dr. Hadley fused to its tongue. From out of the open cells come both SCP-001, the Gate Guardian, and SCP-2845, the Deer. The three entities begin to attack each other, and the group uses the distraction to make their escape. Several members of the group are killed in the escape, as the fight between the entities begins to destroy the site.
I'm not joking. If I saw this, it's over for me. Like, I don't even care if I could have made it out. I don't ever want to remember seeing this again. I hate it.
I've seen a fair bit of discussion and received a few comments regarding the possible victor in the fight between these three titans. And in my opinion, I think the Deer would win.
Shut it down. Shut it down. Mr. Illustrated, how could you? Like, he's probably right, but also, I hate this Deer. I hate this Deer.
You can see that the leech, while strong, doesn't possess much in the way of anomalous power and relies on strength and numbers. The Gate Guardian gave both the Deer and the leech a hard time, but we also see it encased in metal at one point, suggesting SCP-2845 was able to manipulate the elements so that the fire effects of the Guardian were reduced. Finally, at the end of the log, we...
Wait a second. SCP-2845? Hold up. Which one was that? I remember that one. 2845? That's the reality bending dude, right? I swear I'm not misremembering that. I'm looking it up. SCP-2845. No, that's the code of the Deer God. Right. Okay. I'm getting confused. I'm not good with the numbers. But that is the SCP designation of the Deer God. Okay.
You can see that the Guardian is absent entirely, and the Deer is still there tearing through the leech with antlers while launching flaming rods at it as well. So yeah, I put my money on the Deer. Hollis and Onru separate themselves from the group and head back to the Thresher machine, while the rest of the group begins heading for the surface. The group is evacuated to safety by Foundation assets above, while Onru and Hollis set the Thresher device to activate at full power again, while trying to defend against the entities. The Thresher device activates once more, and Site-13 and everything in it disappears from our universe. Given the reactor's severely damaged state, it's safe to assume that this was the final time the Thresher device could be used, and wherever Site-13 ended up, it's there permanently and without power. So it's just a dark, derelict hell filled with vengeful, bloodthirsty creatures constantly changing topography, and a destroyed nuclear reactor possibly leaking radiation. A labyrinth of pain and suffering. So, what happened to Site-13?
Scripted! The Deer God wrote the script! Dude, absolutely rigged.
Emerson wanted power, and he got it. And then he wanted more and more. His relationship with Dr. Hadley proved to be his undoing, though. Dr. Hadley's compassion for the anomalous, in particular her love for Elijah, was a thorn in Emerson's side, And when he refused her transfer and had her beaten and then gave Elijah a death sentence, he had finally opened Pandora's box and sentenced them all to hell. Hadley created a monster out of Elijah, opened every containment cell, and ripped a hole in the fabric of space when the Thresher device was activated by Emerson on a last-ditch attempt to save his sorry ass. In the end, Emerson was bound to the Maladromarduan, and Hadley was bound to the Leech, both doomed to live in their respective torments with—
Dude, that's so, like, poetic. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy.
the monsters they created for eternity, and that
Damn,
is
dude.
what happened to Site-13.
Damn.
This video is the summation of 2 years of work, and it would not have been possible without both my patrons, but also the huge number of incredible people who voiced the characters for this series. All the names are on screen now, and all the links can be found below.
Oh my god, Eastside Show was in this as well. Dude, that's crazy. There's so many people in this. That's mad.
I would like to thank each and every one of them. I'm so grateful for all of you contributing your voices to this series. Check out this video for another great story.
Damn, what a legend, dude. One of the best SCP articles out there. Yeah, this was literally like a movie. I'm so impressed. That's actually crazy. This is so, like, well done. Oh my gosh. Hats off. Wait. Hat on. Wait. Okay. Where's the fucking hat? Wait, you're ruining my joke. There it is. Okay. Hats off. Hats off to Mr. Illustrated. Sick. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, everybody. I think that is all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you all. It has been an absolute journey. Thank you so much for recommending this one. It was amazing. And again, thank you so much to Mr. Illustrated, being a legend and putting this together. I guess the only thing to say now, guys, is I'll be back next Sunday. We'll have a poll-up tomorrow on what SCP we will be watching next Sunday. Time of the stream is 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Sunday, or that is 8 p.m. CEST. I'm very excited. Make sure if you want to, make sure you catch the stream, hit the bell. You got to hit the bell, guys, because if you don't hit the bell, it won't tell you when I go live. It's a nightmare. Make sure you hit it. Make sure you hit it. All right, everybody, have a good one. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I will see you soon, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye. Have a good one. Have a good one, everybody. See you soon.